A sacrifice induced for the altar of your vanity. A jealous, hungry God craving praises of profanity. With bedroom dark and dine, and a deep mouth stained with wine, it drinks its fill. It was your mothers, not your brothers, that agreed to feed you poison. This egregious lack of choice indeed seemed fit to join your voice in, with lies disguised as prizes of reason and wisdom, with briberies of finery to weaken any criticism. Can the fly invade the blossom that devours it? A mouth that lies in wait for a gift of life to shower it.
Well, I guess we'll get started then. Thanks for joining us again. We're at session 81. Last game, if you guys will recall, you basically threw yourself on the mercy of Alexander to be under his patronage. He had some unusual questions for you. Stuff about the nature of love, and do you guys know what it's like to be in love? Things like that. It has since been a couple of weeks since you spoke with him and entered under his patronage, and what he's done is he made you go out with him a few times to attend some theater performances at the amphitheaters and at the bathhouse. He never came out and said, like, these are under my protection, leave them alone. But by his actions, he made it clear that you are now part of his social circle, and the attacks on you began to taper off. Unfortunately, your resources have not come back, because in those few week periods, a very special delivery was dropped off at your at the cult haven. It is several crates full of hundreds of silver denarii. It should go without saying that if you were to somehow lose this money, it would be a devastating loss to your resources. Also, what's gone on throughout the city in these past few weeks, Gaius Gracchus went on trial for abandoning his post as a caster of Sicily, and was easily acquitted. He immediately announced his candidacy for the post of tribune and surrounded himself with loyal guards. You have, as I recall, picked at your contacts, trying to get a handle on who all is there, and his staff is almost completely new. It's his staff. Most of Tiberius's former slaves appear to have been sold off to other households and farms or to mines, things like that. Unrest among the populace continues. There's almost daily constant demonstrations from immigrants demanding full Roman citizenship. There's a rumor among the neonates and the ancillae of the city that Julia Antasia has now taken 2 salubri healers under her wing.
Interesting.
And you still have your own personal things to take care of. There is a Bruja named Critias. That is a name you have heard, and you have met him before. Who has been seen on and off in the city. Nobody seems to know exactly what he's doing. I think that pretty much covers it. That's the major stuff going on. So we begin with all the silver coins being dropped off at your place, with the understanding that this, if you are unable to successfully invest them as far as they're concerned, you are going to have to sell some assets to make up for the loss.
Do we clearly understand this money belongs to us?
Oh, yes, it very much does. But it's essentially
It's a
on
message.
loan. So if you were to lose it, such as by a thief, you would have to sell off your assets in the form of permanent resources to pay back the loan.
Um, I would probably give this to my ghoul and let him handle how to invest it
Oh, no, no,
successfully.
you guys, this isn't for investing. This is for your werewolf deal.
Yes.
Oh, this is a werewolf deal. Okay. I thought. Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought this was for our, resource loss.
No, I mean you're not gonna tell the bankers. Yeah, look, we're gonna have a guy just walk through the city with this and hope to attract shape changing murder monsters.
Yeah.
That seems like an odd thing to say.
Okay. And this money has came from all of our pockets?
From you and Nicodemus and Albina.
Okay.
So you are all three still down a temporary resource point.
Oh, that was because of that. I thought we lost one temporary resource because of the attacks on our resources.
And you did, but it never came back because of this.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So we need to use this money for hunting the werewolves then.
Well, I mean, that's why you as a group
Yeah.
arranged for it.
Right.
You don't have to use it like that. That's just, that's why you did it in the first place.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, I'm not the perfect lupine hunter, so I will let you guys teach me how we should invest this money.
I think the plan was that we prepare a bait transport, and we hire someone to drive it. And I think the idea was to have a neonate.
Well, a neonate driving it. Okay, that makes sense. Although we should make sure that neonate doesn't just steal the money. That will be funny if it happened. What?
It probably will.
Yeah, that would suck if it happened. What about Albina? You making your child drive the cart? That's probably the safest option.
I'd rather not put my child as a bait.
I mean, you are
I already
capable to
lost. I already lost one. Do not want to lose the other.
What about one of the ghouls you have? You got a ghoul, right? A head shipset?
Yes, but out of character, I think Nicodemus would possibly be able to identify problems.
Your voice is like really, how to say it, cloaked or something like that. It's as if you are speaking underwater.
Still happening.
Well, he did say he thinks Nicodemus can identify a problem with that. So,
Yeah.
And what would that be?
Questionable.
Test. Is
yeah,
that better?
it's working.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, that's better.
But yeah, no, because we know at least that regular mortals are not able to maintain composure throughout the time.
It's happening again. We can't understand you.
Yeah, it
What
happened
about
right towards the end of what you were saying.
He said regular mortals have trouble maintaining their composure among werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond what natural, I mean. Obviously, a bit of is expected.
And the ghouls, it doesn't help them, right? Just because they have vampire blood, it doesn't help them maintain composure.
You've never tested that. I'll say that. You've never tested that theory. What you have seen firsthand several times is they go monster form and people panic badly.
What we can always do is ask our elders for more information on if the ghouls would also be affected. But yeah, I believe that having another vampire as the bait would be better, since that would be more capable of using that bait to actually also fight the werewolves, to be an unwilling participant in the fight that we could use. Plus, if that bait ends up dying, it's no big loss for us, since it's not be anyone related to us. It's just some other neonate. At worst, we might make an enemy of their sires. But really, that point, even if you do make an enemy of the sires, not like this, do not think that the sire will be able to do much officially against us, since the neonate would have accepted the offer, willingly. So he could not claim much against us.
Now, I don't know if this is going to be a stupid out of character question or not. Wonder if I might be investing in. I don't even know if this can even be made. Silver armor?
It can be made.
Then how much would that cost?
Did you say silver armor?
Silver armor for us.
It depends. It really honestly depends on how much silver you want to, how pure you want it to be silver.
I do think like silver armor a little too much, because I mean armor takes huge resources really. To make a proper armor would take a lot of silver, but I do think that maybe we could use it to get a silver web, like the gladiators use to trap people, but a silver web instead for capturing the
You're not going to
werewolf.
make a net out of silver. At best, you would hang silver balls and stuff on it.
Maybe make silver ballers.
What about silver chain? Could we do that?
Well, I mean, yeah. It'd be weak as hell, but yeah.
Be right back.
Start thinking outside. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I think the best is just like, I mean, I think the silver armor could be useful, but it probably would be enough for only like 1 or 2 person, not for the whole country.
I was just going to say, unless we, okay, maybe not full silver armor, but some kind of other strong, cheaper material, but laced with silver.
That's the way you do it, right there. And silver plating.
Yeah. Though I have no other ideas other than silver weaponry.
Also, I mean, the last time I wasn't here, so it's like out of character, but the last time we used silver and one of them was totally like, what is this?
Immune.
Yeah, but that was the pack leader, which we know that
Sure,
the other
but
ones.
like,
How do we know
the-
none of them shows up again?
Yeah, that's the thing. How do we know they won't be 2 such lupine this time, or 3?
There might be, but it does not matter if there are for there is certainly going to be a majority of them going to be normal werewolves.
I mean,
So it would still make it be useful against the majority.
I mean,
I mean,
see, even the normal lupines are like, like in one shot you made kind of creatures, and then you add immune to silver to the combination, and what you get is maybe we should have some elders helping us, and not just neonates.
I mean,
know?
that's why we recruited Lysander and we recruited Gale.
Alethea.
Yes, Letia and Gale.
How many werewolves are do we expect to fight?
Last time was 4, 5. This time, they know that there are vampires looking for them. So I would be totally okay with expecting 6 lupine just showing up.
How long has it been since our first attempt at an ambush?
I was just gonna ask that actually. How long?
Probably
how
not
was
long
last time?
enough.
Several months.
Yeah, not long enough. I'm sure lupines do not
Actually,
forget
no, it's
so
been longer
easily.
than that. It's been 10, 11 years maybe?
Yeah, we remember, lupines also don't live as long as, they live
Different
much.
perspective.
Yeah, so we might actually be able to, they might, in theory, they might be on slightly higher alert still, but probably not by that much. So, what, 6? 5?
I think there was a way to capture them. Corral them somehow. I don't know. Capture them.
How do we plan capturing one alive anyway?
Here would be to manage to isolate one of them and either incapacitate him with silver or just try to beat him up to the point where he becomes incapacitated.
Keep the others occupied long enough.
Here's a thought. Vlad, would you be able to use your arts to try and jam some silver inside them? That might help incapacitate them.
I'm not going to be in the fight, as I said many times. I fleshcrafted 3 monstrosities for you, but I'm not going to be in the battle.
Fair enough.
I'm not a fighter, I'm a scholar. The moment I enter the fight, I die.
Still, the principle might work. If we could figure out a way to maybe...
Could water help us somehow, like a big body of water?
Well, it would allow me to try trapping some of them. So like that. They would probably break free after a short while, though, given they're hardly weak of arm.
Don't know if digging a big pit would do any good.
I wonder if animals can tell the presence of the times before. That could potentially give us more more of a heads up, which might allow us to better plan around it.
If you are going to look for heads ups, some of us could, with auspex, would be on the lookout would be above on the buildings and looking on the streets, using aspect to the characters of people.
I do not think anyone has that aspect's power, but what we have is animalism, or Het has, and me too, but I won't be in the battle. So Het can actually use an animal like a bird to actually get the same effect.
Really, because the bird would not be able to detect the werewolves among the people.
I mean, once they come for you guys, they will probably be in a form the bird could detect as different than human.
Well, no, that's the thing I'm wondering. Because I don't think we've ever actually established that, have we? Like, because we know that our kind, vampires, give off inherently unnerving auras to beasts, unless we have, specific traits and merits. Could it be possible that the lupines have a similar thing going on?
Probably, considering that they are as, if not more, beastly than we are. I mean, I can't really say that I've seen a lupine that was friendly and kind and did not really turn into this actual lupine, form. So I do think the animals would be scared of them too.
Possible, but at the same time, I mean, it's ultimately animals behave this way because of our supernatural nature, and werewolves, for all intents and purposes, are inherently supernatural themselves. So it is possible they do, but it's also possible that they don't. We can't know for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Did that happen for anyone else that slowed down for a long time then?
No, not really.
Okay, I didn't catch that, and also I need to go quickly check again. I probably need to
it's on your end.
take a painkiller because I accidentally burned my hand.
Okay. So, while Hatchet
Okay, I'm gonna drop out for now,
moment,
check on something, be right back.
Okay.
You guys are debating the many ins and outs of a strategy here. I think it's time for some dice rolls.
Yeah, by the way, about just like when you said dice roll, we forgot something. Forgot some.
What's that?
Ooh, I got a 9. Okay.
Ah, that. Okay.
Go for it. Go for it, Chris.
Oh boy. Oh, excuse me.
I would like you to roll a D100 dice, and before you roll it, call high or low.
Okay. I just want to say something though before that, Chris. Before I leave my domain, my haven, I'm actually going to fleshcraft myself to a human.
Well, never mind then.
I'm not.
What the? Don't worry about the dice roll, because if that was your plan already, then you somehow read my mind, literally, because you woke up from your daytime slumber, and as you pull yourself from your grave earth, your skin is shifting and changing, sloughing off, and you just happen to come across one of your a herd member cleaning in the hallway, and this mutating flesh just leaps off of your body and pulls this servant into your flesh like some sort of alien monster, and absorbs it into you. And you are now a two-headed, two torso-ish 3 hands, 2.5 legs, conglomeration creature.
It is. This is so fucking creepy. Jesus. I really want to show up like that, but I also want to turn into normal human. Fuck.
So yeah, so what
Ah.
you crawl out and the person barely gets the time to scream, "Oh God, no, no! I got!" And it just like crawls down their throat, and your flesh just like reaches all the way down and reaches all the way around and pulls their legs in. Their torso explodes, showering blood all over the hallway as organs rip and tear into each other and merge into one. Yeah, it's
You know
disgustingly,
what?
horrifyingly awful.
Okay, you know what? You know
Damn the
what?
meatsy.
I guess the guy is dead now, right?
Oh yes, quite dead.
Okay. Now here's the question: if I use obfuscate and go to the group haven, I won't really be seen by humans. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. My goal is because I want the others to see this, so I'm probably going to fleshcraft myself once I am in the group haven and not in my home, just so the others can see how I'm looking. So I'm just going to obfuscate myself, and then do that essentially.
Yep. And the way the organs merged, the dead head is preserved by your vitae, and it can utter little little like groany sounds because you can still force air through it, but you haven't learned how to control it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely obfuscated, showing up in the haven like that. And once everyone sees it and gives a response, I will then fleshcraft myself to a normal human. Knock knock.
Yeah, so he knocks. The obfuscate drops.
I'm not outside, right?
The priestly member, or the member of your herd that is watching your front door, comes tearing past you guys, screaming, just in bloody murder terror. They have completely lost all sense of rationality. They are screaming, running through the worshiping area where you're all kind of standing gathered.
Well, I think it goes without saying at this point, out of character, that we'd kind of be used to that kind of thing by now.
Yeah, you are. They are not.
No, but what I mean is, in seeing that reaction, we can reasonably assume that it's Vlad at the door.
Yeah. The usual response is to grab the person and have Albina erase that memory.
Yeah. Probably be a good idea.
I'm just like getting towards the room which the coterie generally stays in the haven. I'm just like going towards them essentially because I already know the place. I don't really wait for anyone to come back or like escort me.
As she walks in, Albina looks to the others. We really should make a back entrance for him.
Yeah, probably not. It's not a bad idea. But I think even as Vlad enters the room, Albina turns her head and even she does a double take. Looks at him and she's like, "What have you gone and done to yourself this time?"
As I speak, the voice, the air is coming into my lungs. It also does the same thing for the second head, but for the second head, it's just like just like Crusade. But Vlad says, "This is just part of the experiments. do not mind it.
Can you please stop scaring off our people? They are on our side.
I cannot stop humans from being scared of what they cannot understand.
Oh,
It is
come
not
on.
my
You know
mistake.
you know full well you're sowing discord through your actions. And it just complicates things on our end.
If you so desire.
Yes,
And
please.
then I'm going to essentially activate level 2 and level 3 power to expel the human from my body, and then fleshcraft myself retroactively to a human. And actually, I like to increase my appearance temporarily with this fleshcrafting. So I do wish to appear as a rather handsome human.
Okie dokie.
So normally it's difficulty 9 to increase appearance, but because of my merit, it's difficulty 7.
You also need somebody to help guide you
Yeah,
because you can't see what you're doing to yourself.
right. Which I think I will take the help of Albina just because she is a beautiful, very, high on appearance character. So she would definitely know about looking good.
Vlad, I would like you to roll me a self-control.
Instinct.
Well, you don't have self-control. So you can't roll it.
Instinct. I can roll instinct.
Well, yeah. You know what? Go ahead, roll instinct at difficulty 6.
6. Okay. Is this for expelling the human from my body?
No, this is for something else.
Okay. This one, success.
All right, you refrain from making yourself look like her.
Oof.
Okay. So do you want me to roll?
Yes, I would like you to roll your...
Actually, sorry, I did make a mistake. No, I did not make a mistake. Yeah, I'm going to check what I have to roll. I do need to open the book for that. Where is it? Page was visited. Oh, here, I found it. Okay. I have to roll. Oh, okay. I have to roll dexterity, body crafts, difficulty 7 to change.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to look at the rules for increasing appearance. And it requires an extra blood point for each dot above their natural. So I do spend 2 blood for level 2 and level 3. And then I need to spend extra blood to increase my appearance. I got the appearance of 1. I'm going to increase my appearance to 4. So I'm going to spend 3 extra blood. So that's 5 blood I spend.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah. Dexterity, body crafts. Let's roll. Dexterity.
Now, it takes him approximately half an hour to rebuild his body the way he's rebuilding it. So as you are discussing, Albina's given him advice, feedback. You need to increase your brow ridge, mess with your eyebrows a little bit. They need to be a little bit thinner. Fix your lips here. Your proportions from your hands to your femurs are too big. You need to, fix your proportions, and so on and so forth.
That's 5 success.
Nicodemus and Hatshepsut and Labiena can continue discussing the werewolf problem.
Yeah.
As
Sorry,
a
what?
single combined roll, one of you roll intelligence plus occult. I don't think anybody has lupines or werewolf lore as a specialty.
No.
No.
I've got
Research is the best I can do.
int 5 occult 4, so
Yep.
um
Do it.
Oh, it's better
uh,
than me.
so first of all, though, 2 notes. First of all, did I miss anything? And second of all, just to note that I'm going to preemptively apologize if I'm even more distracted than usual, because I burned my hand like a fucking idiot, and it is really smarting right now.
Okay. You have not missed anything. No, nothing important, I should say. But I would like Hatshepsut to make the roll and add 2 dice for the 2 guys helping her. As you are comparing your knowledge, your personal experience, the stories you've heard, we're going to call this difficulty 6. And then I'll let you ask some questions that I'll answer.
Oh, excuse me.
What the
Fucking
actual
hell.
Oh
fuck?
wait, that's a fail. Thankfully that's a fail though.
Wow.
110.
All right. I would like you to re-roll that roll at difficulty 7.
Does a botch mean you give him a false information?
If he
It's
botches
not a
this roll,
botch.
I will give him false information, yes.
That's better.
Yes, much better. All right. You can ask 2 questions that I will answer truthfully from your experience.
Okay. What? So what? Is it likely that animals will be able to sense to identify lupines that haven't gone into beast form?
Yes. They're not going to tell you that's a werewolf. They're going to be extremely uncomfortable around them. You have
All right.
personally observed that.
Okay, but that can still be useful.
Yeah, they will tell you that smells like a predator,
Hmm.
which may or may not be helpful.
Second one. Let me think. Do either of you two have any suggestions on the second question?
My only thought is, do we know of any other weaknesses besides silver?
Perhaps a good question, maybe how to get one of them isolated, how to attract a single individual instead of attracting a pack.
Yeah. Can we think of a way to pin down, if not a lone one, then at least only a small number of like 2 or 3 at most?
You have observed that they will split the pack in hunting patterns. So what does that mean? That means anytime you isolate one, there's going to be others nearby. But you have a decent chance that if you can lure one away, the others won't be there for several minutes. Or at least a minute or 2, which should be enough for you to do what you have to do.
All right, so we need to get them chasing something, and then pin down one of them mid-chase, basically. Is what I'm getting, right?
Yeah, that sounds about accurate. What you absolutely don't want is to be lured into a battle with no exits. You don't want to go to where they are. And you certainly don't want them anywhere near your usual hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody would argue with that.
Yeah, no.
We should also make plans to try to cover our scent so that none of us get the what I forgot the name of Labiana's child.
Tyrannus.
Yeah, so that none of us get the same fate as Tyrannus.
Yeah.
So, a good way to cover our scent would probably use some kind of herbs that we don't usually smell, like similarly.
Actually, that gives me an idea.
I can think of an actually easier way.
Cover shafts and sheet.
Water.
That works too, I guess.
But on that subject, I have an idea. Could we possibly prepare some sort of basically some particularly odious scent that we could use to potentially stun them for a bit? You know, like basically
Like overwhelm them.
yeah, like
Well, several of you do have auspex, so would it stun them? Probably not, but it could burn them out and make them significantly harder to track you. Certainly, they would be unable to use your scent to track you.
Could be useful.
but like we can't make an equivalent, a low-tech form of pepper spray or anything like that.
Well, olive oil, you don't really have a lot of hot peppers at the moment, unfortunately. Not really a thing you guys have.
Peppercorns.
Again, not really a Roman thing. But olive oil and shitloads of salt.
Yeah. Do it.
Olive oil,
Right.
salt, and kind of like powdered pottery.
Also, remember the one thing that werewolves are quite famous for: their size. So maybe try to find a way to use it against them.
Or a way that has confined spaces. But that would also make it harder for us to run away. Also give us less room to maneuver. Mustards might also be a good herb to use to block the scent.
Okay, so you've got some possibilities. You've got a scent blocker idea, which, you have somebody who has weather control and can call storms. And you live next to a big river.
So we can get all the water we need at least.
And the salt.
You are looking for something to potentially blind them, or at least cut down on or at least distract them. Now, you have no good way. There exists no good way to disperse powder like that. But if you have somebody who's a really good crossbow shot or archer, you could prepare jugs of, olive oil and stuff that could get in their eyes and perform a headshot, basically.
Isn't your ghoul hat good at archer?
Yes, but of course we are betting on the we're gambling on the possibility of him freaking out still with that. But it's still.
If he freaks out, he will just run away, which is win-win because he doesn't die then.
True.
And
doesn't shoot
think
them.
about it. Do you want to
Most of them.
risk yourself dying rather than your ghoul? Or your ghoul dying rather than you yourself? Who's really worth more to you?
If worst comes to worst, I could do it.
Yeah, if it's the worst, you may embrace him. Or, Albina can raise him as a zombie. There's only one way we can fuck this up, and it's just if we die ourselves. Otherwise, it's a win, guys. If we survive, it's a win. So I suggest that you should take your ghoul. And we are not telling him to be in the line. He will just be standing back with the arrow or crossbow and just fire jugs with oil.
Also, out of character, that thing we talked about last time, would Labiena have a chance to, spend time near the river, collecting and storing dead bodies somewhere?
Yeah.
In preparation.
Collecting them is not a problem. Just where are you going to put them?
Exactly, yeah. Storing them.
Doesn't Nicodemus's domain have like a graveyard or something like that?
Yeah.
For the most part,
guys-
bodies get burned.
Yeah.
We really need
Remember,
a
you're
monk.
talking a city of approximately, at the moment, 400,000 people. There are no
Also, I
graves.
do also believe
Yes,
Oh,
there's no embalming. There's no mortuary services.
You cannot legally dissect a corpse anyway.
In that time, you
thought I
mean, or
had
like
made a contact in that regard.
you have a contact?
I thought I had.
No, they'll collect the bodies for you. Sure.
Holding it is.
But again, it's
yeah.
nobody was going to put that in their crowded apartment building.
Yeah.
Unless we dig like a big hole in the ground.
If you really need a zombie, there is like a corpse in front of your feet right now who has been violently submerged with another creature.
I do not think that corpse is in good enough state to be made into a zombie.
Yeah.
Well,
You
It's
think
about,
I
it's-
have
not
no-
that.
To be fair, it's about It's about 3/4 of a corpse. So
Yeah, I might have ate some parts of it without being aware of it. Sorry, guys.
Well, here's another question. How many, on average, how many bodies might float down the river at any given time?
you can
Doesn't
usually
it-
fish at least one out in a night.
Doesn't it taint the river, like having so many corpses?
Yeah.
Doesn't people drink from it?
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
What? These old times, whatever, ancient times. Why am I questioning their hygiene?
Those
Hygiene.
the city, yeah, they get affected, but later down the stream, the river would usually self-cleanse, but that takes
Yeah.
distance.
Plus, it doesn't always go straight from river into mouth. Sometimes, they might boil it, put in something, you know.
True.
And most citizens
Yeah.
aren't drinking right from the river; they're getting it from the fountains and the aqueducts. So
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Just something is stuck in my eye. So what?
Part of that guy from earlier.
Just found me in the fucking real life.
all right, so we've talked about this for approximately 45 minutes or so. You guys have some ideas
Yeah.
about how you want to proceed.
Let's. I think some of our goals are a little too what's the word, ambiguous. We are thinking a little too complex. We don't really need to load like food
I think Discord's glitching kind of bad.
filled with oil to break them when our enemies are underneath. That's a sure okay one. But I don't think we need like what do we need sand for again? The salt, I mean. I suggested we just try to find a confined space relative, at least enough that like what are lupines 12 feet. So we try to find a confined space that is lower than 12 feet or something, like a 10 feet maybe, 9 feet tall space, so that they are hindered, and then try to just fight them in that kind of place. Or we can just go for an open place and then hunt
Usually
them.
those that have roof limit are tight spaces, and you don't really want to be in tight spaces with a lupine.
I mean, here's the thing. You don't want to be with a lupine in any scenario. At least you're in a confined space with much lower ceiling. The lupine has to like crunch, like gets, like the place is too narrow for it, so it can't really go make a wide swing with its claws. Or if it tries to bite you, it's a little uncomfortable because their head is hitting to the ceiling. It's much better than the idea of fighting them in an open space where they can just get this large swing to you.
Yeah, here's a question: does the Colosseum exist yet?
No, it does not. However,
Damn.
the it's the you have the Circus Maximus, and there is a prototype style Colosseum style building that was built approximately 250 BC, 230 BC, something like that, by the Fulvian Amphitheater, I believe, and that does exist.
With the money we borrowed, can we get a scorpion?
Sure,
Like
you
the
can afford to have
siege.
one built.
Yeah, like a siege weapon. Scorpion.
But you won't have any silver left to act as bait.
Also, that's going to be very hard to carry around discreetly.
Yeah. I also think it will require. The wells are very fast. I do not think you'd be able to fire it more than once. Fire and load it quickly enough to have more than one shot.
I do assume the more people you have handling the scorpion, the faster you reload it. Like if you have like a 3-4 person working together. Would that be correct? I mean, we are probably not going to do that at all, but I'm still curious. Like if
There would probably be diminishing returns on it, even if that were the case, because, coordinating a large number of people is itself a task.
Yeah. Well, okay. So did we decide on how to invest the money? By the way, did we decide on something?
I thought we were supposed to buy silver weapons.
Yep, I mean that's probably the greatest and simplest thing we can do with it. Buy some silvered weapons.
Silver-plated armor this time around.
Yeah, silver-plated armor for you guys, or for those of you who need armor. Yeah, that's pretty much. I think this is pretty much it. Yeah, we get silver-plated armor, we get silvered weapons. We get the. I mean, okay, head. You need to decide if you're going to use your ghoul for the jack thing. Oil plan. If you're not going to do it, then we don't need to invest to it.
I'll give it a shot, sure.
Okay, then we get the oil, we get the plated armor, and we get the silvered weapons.
Who's buying
And then
the armor?
we.
Also,
Sorry, what?
Who's buying
Did
the
you say?
armor? better be-
I'm
you're-
not.
Somebody's spending permanent resources.
Silver, like not the silver. Whole armor is silver, but rather just.
Yeah.
Just
Somebody's
coated.
spending permanent resources.
Okay.
I don't
We're-
care.
we
I
are
don't
not
care how
getting
much
the armor.
silver's in it. You're talking
Okay.
significant effort to modify.
Okay. Well, we are not getting silver armor, guys. We are getting silvered weapons.
I thought we're talking about getting some silver plates to attach to our current armor, rather than having a whole suit.
I'm not sure if the potential effect will be worth the expense. Is the
Yeah,
thing.
probably it won't. Probably it's going to be effective against like targeted attacks, but otherwise not. But yeah, I think we should.
But
not do that.
There is something else that just came to my mind. If we can guarantee that this will be happening in an area where mortals aren't going to be coming across us, I might be able to lock down at least one of them much more easily.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so sure, that sounds fine. We essentially choose a location the mortals won't be near. That's pretty much the location in summary. And then I do suggest we don't get like silver armor, but maybe can we get silver helmets, Chris?
Sure.
Would that be enough with the money we have?
You can get. Okay, look. If you spend any of this money, you will not have enough for bait.
Okay. So do we want to use the money for the
That
bait,
money's
guys?
just for the bait.
Okay. Do we want to?
That was the plan. Yeah.
Okay, we don't spend the
okay.
money then. We
I see,
use
right,
the
okay.
money for the bait to get the werewolves, and then we do that, and then we essentially get the werewolves to a location where the mortals wouldn't be near. And then if you guys want, you can use your own resources to get silvered weapons, I guess. But otherwise, this seems like our plan. And then we also have the plan of the jags filled with oil, so that we can shoot them.
Yeah, those are cheap. No big deal for those.
Yeah.
So what's the idea for the driver? Is it
Yeah, for the
a ghoul, or is it going to be
Yeah.
a neonate?
for the driver, there is several things we can do. If we can see, I'm thinking that if any vampire is willing enough to, in exchange of a boon, drive a cart full of money to bait a werewolf, but then again, we don't need to tell the kindred he is going to bait a werewolf. We can just tell him to transport this money in an exchange of a boon. We just need to find a kindred with like, a stereotypical clan that does hold their promise. I would not trust a gangrel doing this for us in exchange of a boon. Maybe a Ventru or a La Sombra.
Why wouldn't you trust a gangrel doing this?
Well, it's out of character of me.
Oh.
Maybe a La Sombra or a Ventru, although I do not think Ventru would be like, I'm not doing that. That's too low for me. Go find some other errand boy. They might be like that, which makes sense. Same for the La Sombra. A Nosferatu might be good choice. No. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A Nosferatu or a Bruja, maybe? A Neo Bruja, Neonate, or a Fledgling Bruja. We definitely need to find a Fledgling or Neonate. We shouldn't do this for an Ancilla. Any
Actually,
suggestion?
I just realised something to consider, because if the werewolves do freak out the ghouls and stop them from being able to do anything, then it's probably going to freak out whatever's drawing the cart. So, you know.
Well, listen. If as long as we get the werewolves to our location, it shouldn't be too much problem if the animals are freaked out. Also, we have animalism, so we can actually try to help in that side. You know what? Let's just find a neonate who is new to Rome, and offer him a boon in exchange of just driving the cart through a certain destination. And, let's
Actually,
keep it as
what I'm
simple as that.
what I'm thinking, actually, you might be able to get away with having a ghoul drive it, because even if, you know, basically, if it's going to be a case where they'll freak out, it's probably a case where they wouldn't be able to go anywhere anyway, because the animals would have freaked out.
I mean, could it have it be a hand-drawn cart?
Sure.
There's not needs to
They
be
have
drawn by
those.
animals.
Yeah, they have those.
That will, you know that werewolves will catch that cart in a split second, right?
Can't we have horses with it or something?
Yeah, we should have a horse, because
Donkeys.
otherwise the werewolves. Yeah, donkeys or horse, whatever. Probably donkey is much cheaper.
I don't think that's going to outrun a full speed running
Neither's a
werewolf
horse.
anyway.
No, where a horse would.
In the streets of Rome, a horse is not going to outrun a werewolf.
Yeah.
On a flat,
okay.
open plain, it might.
Okay. So we have to hope. That the moment werewolves notice the cart and the kindred or the ghoul, we have to hope that they will not immediately attack, but rather, like a hunter stalking its prey, just follow it till the cart comes to the destination and we ambush the lupines. We have to hope that. Otherwise, werewolves would probably get the cart and the ghoul or the kindred before it even arrives to the location of ambush.
That's a very poor hope considering the resources we invest in it.
We are not really doing the smartest thing in the existence either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So we are
not make it any worse though.
Yeah, but we are already beyond the idea of maybe we shouldn't do this.
If Labieno is going to be doing this again, I think she's probably going to be willing to spend a permanent resource point and get that silver-plated armor.
Okay. Level 3, which is the chainmail stuff, or do you want level 4?
Chainmail be enough.
Well, the difference is 3 soak in exchange of -1 dexterity and 4 soak in exchange of -2 dexterity.
Okay, I've got. This is a much more risky idea, but hear me out. If I and one of my ghouls are the ones at the cart, I can have couple birds around to alert if predators as they'd see it are closing in. I can try to guide whatever we have drawing the cart. I'm not much of a driver myself, but my ghoul can handle the that part of it, and I can just make sure the animals are being cooperative.
That sounds okay. Yeah, that's riskier, but it's definitely much. How to say it? Makes an assurance of our initial plan.
And maybe level 3 armor, so that we still have some movement. so it
I mean,
doesn't hinder
remember,
our movement too much.
you can boost your dexterity with blood.
That too.
So
And-
I say go for a level 4. Go for a level 4, you can boost your dexterity. Even 5 dexterity is quite okay. You don't need 7 dexterity.
And on that subject, remember, so long as I'm gonna be wanting to pop this during the battle anyway. So long as I can get solid enough clothes to cover up, to make sure no one catches a glimpse of what's going on with my body, I can survive at least a couple strikes probably.
Right.
Maybe
That's
level 4
okay.
is better for that.
Hmm?
Yeah, let's go level 4. Bugger it.
Yeah, trust me, go for level 4. As someone who made the mistake of thinking the -1 dexterity or -2 dexterity will be too much of a penalty, and then later on learned that it is not at all a problem in exchange of extra soak, trust me, go for a level 4. It's going to save your ass.
Yeah, Labiena will probably figure that as well.
Yeah, I'm my fair share of using armor. Yeah, I say you should use your ghoul to drive the cart and then stay with your ghoul. I think that's a good one. You can use animalism to take care of the animals and also be aware of the lupines stalking you thanks to the birds up in the sky. So everything should be okay-ish at that part. You just need to, if they attack, you just need to get away successfully. But you can also have another animal ready to let us know that if you are being attacked, and we can immediately abort the location and try to join you. I think this is as far as we can plan. We should act, or we should proceed to act now.
Yeah, and do any of us have the common sense merit, and would they like to use it on this just to Chris?
Yes, I do have the common sense.
None of us had. I had it before, but that character died.
I have it.
You have it?
Yeah. Any? Are you sure you want to give to us about this current version of the plan, Chris?
Well, Albina's common sense merit is telling her that if she doesn't succeed somewhat soon, her sire is going to be extremely pissed.
Yeah. Albina is definitely in a selfish position right now because he's risking the whole country is dying to get
Alright, so-
suck his iron stick.
I would like you guys, one person, to explain clearly the plan. Clearly
Okay.
explain what each person's role is and what the plan is.
Should I go? Okay. So we are going to, first of all, we are going to choose a location that is away from the sight of mortals so that we do not risk a masquerade breach.
Okay, I'm going to tell you now that's going to be the Tresteverti region, which is across the Tiber. It has many more open spaces that are going to have a lot more chances of nobody being in the area.
Okay. Then we are going to have Hatshepsut and his warrior ghoul, I believe, drive the cart with the chests on its back, around the road near the ambush location, and essentially get the attention of the lupines and then draw them to our ambush location.
Okay?
Yeah, and I'm going to.
Hatshepsut,
Mm-hmm.
you know somebody who knows this region really fucking well.
Do I now?
Yes, you do.
Is it perhaps someone who saved my life a few sessions ago?
Yes, it is.
So we could probably get at least some advice on locations from her at the very least. And who
Okay.
knows, maybe she'd even be eager to get involved, though.
Well, that's we can okay, we will add that to the plan. You will go and check with your friend and learn more good information about this, and then we can find like upgrade that part of the plan later on once you speak with your friend. But
Also, yeah, depending on what we figure out, actually, I'm just thinking, if we can figure out a specific point where, basically, if we can figure out a specific point where it's likely the werewolves would go during a chase, we might be able to isolate one of them rather than, luring all of them into our location.
again, a good thing to ask your friend once you see him.
And
But
this friend of yours, if you believe that this friend force would be useful in fighting these werewolves, I'll be willing to have you offer up to a major boon to them in trade of having them partake active part in it.
I'll tease the idea, but we'll have to see.
Okay.
It's
continue. Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Dennis?
No, I was just going to continue explain the plan.
Yeah. The only other thing I'll know is that I'll be having like a conscripted bird or two, sort of occasionally circling the area, coming back down, saying if there are any big scary predators about other than
Okay.
myself.
I'll offer this up to you. You don't need to spend that kind of attention because you did. If you're going to have a mobile target and no defined endpoint here, how are you going to stage Alethea and Gale? Now, Alethea, as a traveler, has enough protean to fly. Everybody knows this. So she can be aerial reconnaissance.
Okay, that's good to
But
know.
you still
Okay,
have
so
to account for, if it was me, I would like the Bruja fighter on my side.
We might be. We might need to, set a final destination point then.
well, there is going to be a final destination point, I believe. It's the ambush location, the place we want the cart to draw the lupines at, so that we can ambush them.
Oh, so if I'm getting this right, basically we loop round until we can tell we've caught the scent. We can tell that they're starting to they've basically started paying attention to us. Then go into the ambush location. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I
The
understand
moment-
that. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and then so other stuff we are planning. That's the cart thing. That's the location thing we handled. We also have the Albina, Nicodemus, Labiana. In the ambush location, Albina will be using her tentacles beforehand. I believe that will be a smart thing to do, just like as before. We got the jugs hanging from somewhere. I have no idea where, but hanging from somewhere, so that maybe at some point we can use it to blind some of the lupines if it comes to it. It's just like an extra thing. We won't really lose too much money doing that, so we just do it for that reason. I got my 3 flesh-crafted ghouls with the in the ambush location, and they will be helping Albina. They will be meat shields, essentially. What else do we have? Your hound head. Are you going to use your hound? Every enemy, every ally counts. Remember,
Yeah.
overnumbered difficulty fucks you up good. So the more numbers we have, yeah.
Well, I'll keep him with me. I won't be able to. I'll have to keep him sticking with me.
Sure. You have the animal with you. your ghoul with you, animal ghoul. Head also will be keeping the animal drawing the pushing the cart in check with her animalism, just in case the lupines scare it off and the animal acts weirdly. We don't want that. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much the plan.
Also bringing my
Oh, and a
child.
small pile of dead bodies nearby as well for Albina's use.
Mm-hmm. You do that.
Okay, so
You
you've had plenty of time to set this up. All right, you station. You've picked a isolated farmhouse of some sort to be the endpoint. You stage Gale Leonis there. You stage several dead bodies there. You stage a crossbow and some of your oil jars there. You stage the flesh-crafted and blood-bound poor unfortunates there.
Also, a few things I just forgot to mention. I think Albina should roll for her armor, shadow armor thing, and I think she did say it. Her child is with her in the ambush site.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So it's going to take you guys several weeks to arrange everything here. You have already done most of this, I'm going to assume.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what did you say, Chris?
So I'm going to assume you've already done most of this by the time the silver gets here. All right?
Yeah, that sounds like a thing we will do in character.
All right. So now I want only a dice roll from Hatshepsut about her ghoul. Well, her ghoul can drive the stuff around, no problem. What I want from Hatshepsut is a perception and awareness roll to detect when they have finally picked up somebody trailing them.
I would like to spend a willpower on this one.
Absolutely.
Chris, can I also ask something quickly?
Uh-huh.
Can Vlad have like a bird watching the fight just to know later on what happened? Like the bird is just going to watch the site, that's it?
Sure.
That's one success.
Okay. So over the weeks, describe to me the route that you take. Do you start in the same place, end in the same place? Just kind of vary the midpoint a little bit? Is that the general plan?
We might also slightly vary the start, but not too much.
Okay. So you always end in the same place. What I would like is Hatshepsut, I would like you to, or I would like your ghoul to make a dexterity and drive roll, or ride, actually, dexterity and ride, to pilot the cart once you have picked up the trail, once somebody has picked you up.
Would the quick hand specialty apply?
Quick hands? No. If
Fair
you
enough.
have anything like wagons or chariot driving, anything like that, that would.
Base diff of 6.
So yeah, you're going to be making 2. Through the city is going to be 6 because you can only go so fast. Through the countryside is going to be 7 because you're going to be gunning flat out. Okay, you managed
The first
not to
one
wreck
is
the
a
cart in
single-
the city. That's good. All right.
Well done. Oh, we can't hear you, Chris. Are you speaking?
I haven't said anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So 1 success in the city, 3 success in the country.
Okay.
Okay, he's checking something.
Yeah, I'm getting my cards out.
He's
'Cause
checking how to
I'm
kill
not
us.
flipping back and forth through character sheets for this. I should send you guys a picture of my setup. Just so, because you can see the index cards and the laptop and the tablet. But yeah. Alright. It's easier for me to mark this stuff on index cards than it is to flip back and forth through character sheets.
True.
I don't need to worry about that, right?
No, because you're not in the combat. I do want
Yeah.
you to roll for your fleshcrafty ghouls.
Guys, yeah. I have their sheet with me.
Alright. Okay. Hatshipsit, make one more perception and alertness roll once you get out in the countryside.
I am absolutely spending a willpower for this one as well.
Go for it.
That's
Nice.
3 successes.
So what you noticed over a couple of weeks, as you were going through the city, you picked up a couple of people that you saw looking at you 3 or 4 times. And as you varied your route, you notice these same people at different points. And that's when you realized, oh, I think I've picked up human forms here. And they finally caught you near the river as you were crossing the bridge. And right as you leave the populated areas, they start running after you. And as your ghoul, picks up the pace, you look back and you see clothes melding and merging, and 3 of these human forms are now extremely large wolves.
Oh boy.
Not even like, you've seen big wolves in the wild. These are like dire wolf size wolves. And one of them has a large scar starting at its neck, tapering down the front, which you saw as it was changing, and exiting out near its knee. You absolutely have seen, very vividly remember that scar. Vividly, because you saw it happen.
Oh boy.
Can you remind him? Can you remind what happened?
No.
If I recall correctly, this is the one that tried to ambush me and what's the face? The Ihannis's protege.
No, this is the one that Tyrannus jammed a silver pylon straight down his throat.
Oh.
That's right. Yes. As we were escaping, I believe.
Yep. Tyrannus
Alright.
jammed a silver pylon straight through its torso.
Did.
I'm going to be having, driver going full speed ahead and going to be keeping an eye on them, trying to, if it looks like they're catching up way too fast, trying to figure out a way to slow them down a little bit without, like, completely throwing them off.
So I can just imagine you going, drive! And he starts driving faster, and you start slapping his back. I said drive, motherfucker! Faster! Like, drive!
Faster!
I don't know, I'm just imagining flinging one of the silver coins at one of them just to, like, so that they have to dodge out the way.
Give me, as a matter of fact, give me a dexterity and archery roll. You pick up the crossbow, and you're like, all right, I know how to slow these guys down. Boom! You launch a couple of bolts at them.
I'm going to, I can spend blood, right?
Yeah, you can spend blood.
Alright, because the ghoul is driving, so actually she can like use the crossbow.
Yep.
Exactly.
Do you also scream like curse at them like fucking dogs, like or something like that?
Let's go with yeah, sure.
I mean, I can totally imagine Hatches is just screaming in terror right now. Because, let's be honest, she's brave.
Yeah, in fact, no.
Yeah, because I honestly believe she's
I'm
brave
probably
and she's strong, but she's fucking smart too, and she knows what's gonna happen if she gets caught.
yeah. She tries screaming insults, but ends up just screaming. What is it? There's a fucking Discord quote of Winterin could scream for mercy in 19 different languages, and just plain scream in another 44.
Okay, go for it. Go for the draw. Nice.
Alright, one.
Single success.
Alright, you manage not to fall out of the cart as he is whipping the horses. Slams.
Wait, didn't you say you spent a willpower?
Nah, he spent blood.
Not for this one.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm spending blood to boost my dex.
They have to dodge out of the way. They jump out of the way. They still have to slow down a little bit. And you open up a little bit of clearance. You feel a little bit safer. You get a chance. You reload the crossbow. You look up in the sky. Alethea is keeping pace in her bat form.
Aw, bit for.
Yes, she is. She's a Ventru. She doesn't get a chance to change her stuff. She's bat and wolf.
I bet she would like to be eagle, but has to stuck
She
with
had
bat.
bat form.
Yep. You drive in. The ambush site is, as I said, a isolated farm. We're gonna say it's a worn down farmhouse. Very similar to this. The gate has fallen over. You've cleared the gate out of the way. If necessary, you can retreat inside. The horses drive into the courtyard. With you screaming, "They're on me! They're on me!"
Yeah, try to, in the midst of that, just bring up how many there were specifically.
3 that you saw.
3 of them, and one's an old friend.
All right. Nicodemus and Albina need you to make a perception and alertness roll, sight-based. This is going to be contested.
To do all my usual stuff.
Roll good, guys. Roll good.
My usual discipline.
Oh,
Perception,
Labiana's right. You are also
alertness.
waiting. Labiana, you also can make perception and alertness roll.
Is aspect good for that?
Oh, yes,
Please,
absolutely.
precarious.
I would imagine your senses are jacked to the max right now.
Standard difficulty?
Yes,
And we
please.
can make that.
A question: would the hack Sharps had brought her friend into this?
Oh wait, not D5.
I don't know.
if
Hatchet
using
it, did you?
Auspex?
I don't know. Would she have been jumping at the chance when I mentioned what was going on?
For a major boon, yes. Payable by, since Albina offered, payable by Albina. Yeah, she'll take this.
You know what? Sure, let's go for it. We need all the help we can get.
Yep. Albina, you're offering so many boons to so many people. Good luck.
And what is her name so that I can put her on the boon list?
It is NPC.
It is. It is. What's the clan name?
She's a gang.
Scoundrel?
Should it go there?
I'm going through my NPC list here. Her name is Larthia.
2.
Larthia
Larthia.
Kurvenas. Kurvenas.
All right, thank you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Just to be clear, by the way, Nicodemus has armor, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Does Headship suit have armor as well?
I have.
Probably should.
I'd say I probably have like heavy clothing and then my skin. Or not heavy clothing. Let's say leather. You know, class 2 or 3 or whatever it is.
Go for class 3 armor.
Yeah.
Which one Labiana got? Was it class 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one.
Yeah. So that's Nicodemus. You hear some animals sniffing in the background. So sniffing from behind. So they're as she's rushing towards the courtyard opening, and you guys are all preparing up on the roofs or wherever you happen to be. Nicodemus, you hear snuffling, sniffing, some pads approaching through the grass and the plants that have run wild around this farmhouse that, quite frankly, you're all surprised hasn't burned to the ground yet.
Okay, gonna alert the others.
Looks
They're
like
here.
2 dogs, and they do look like dogs, not wolves.
So
Oh.
does it mean it's not completely uninhabited?
Oh, there's no people here.
Do we know if werewolves can have any sort of influence over animals?
You have
Except
no
wolf.
idea. Werewolves scare off. You have seen it. They make normal animals uncomfortable. But there's no werewolves here yet. They're on their way.
Okay. So you just hear dogs, not the werewolves.
Correct. But off in the distance, Nicodemus, with your auspex, everyone who has auspex activated, off in the distance you hear gallop, and then the clatter of wooden wheels, and then a faint screaming, and then soon enough you hear the huffing and panting of animals on the run. And then with your heightened sight and on your upper sight line, you see the horses coming to your vision. And you see Hatshepsut frankly cranking on this crossbow. She delivers a shot. She frantically cranks on the crossbow. She delivers another shot. And then she cranks it back up and she loads another bolt. And she looks and she sees the courtyard in view. And she's screaming, "Go, go, go, go!" And in a cloud of dust and a clatter of hooves, he rolls into the courtyard and he has to turn the horses in a tight circle a couple of times to slow down. And the chariot tips up and over, then settles back down on its wheels. Hatshepsut, you jump off and take your assigned space. Your ghoul jumps off, takes his crossbow and the remaining bolts, and bolts into the house, climbing to the 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see it.
These
All right, I'm going. Yeah.
These 3 wolves come screaming into the courtyard.
Let's go then. Should we roll initiative?
I am actually not going to roll initiative. I'm just going to go through your names one by one and have you describe what you're doing.
Okay.
All right then. Am I up first on the list then, or?
So the 3 wolves come screaming in, and as they pass the courtyard, they are already transforming into their giant freaking war forms.
Kronos.
Yep. And they are howling.
Why do I hear boss music, guys?
That'd be a good idea for me to change that theme, wouldn't it? How about that?
I heard somewhere that like a kid actually escaped some actual wolves that way. Just started playing death metal and just ran.
I mean, honestly, it seems that many predators are actually scared when the sound is loud enough. Weirdly enough. It's just the grizzlies and the white bear type. I forgot the name of. You need
The
to
polar
be,
bear?
yeah, polar bear. You need to be very careful about. I mean, the grizzly, you can maybe survive it. The polar bear, not so much. It's like, okay, bye bye. It's like, it was a nice life. We will be sad for you, but you are dead now.
We're getting there. Don't worry. Like
Um,
survivor of this session.
All right.
and I'm
So,
eating my.
Here we go. Vorpal.
So I assume we let them in, and there's only 3 of them, right?
Yes.
Okay, I guess some of them has to go, so just going to wait for a good moment and try to ambush the last one entering. So like jump down from some place and sink a silver gladius into them.
All right. Go right on ahead, sir. Give me a dex melee roll.
So Labiana's armor, I wanted the same
You have
thing.
level 4 armor, which is a -2 dex penalty, I think? Or is it -3? for
Yes,
level 4?
-2.
Okay.
Level 2 and level 3 is -1. Level 4 is -2.
Okay, that's fine.
And you get 4 soak dice.
That's definitely good. Melee.
Counteract that.
That's 4, 7. There's no bonuses for ambush.
You get first action as ambush.
Yeah.
Okay.
But are you attacking them?
Yeah, I thought that
Okay.
was the...
Yeah, but like in melee, or are you attacking from the range?
Melee.
Melee. Okay.
Yeah, most of us aren't actually very good at archery.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, Nicodemus
right.
generally throws.
Nicodemus is attacking them from distance. So from he's attacking the one in the back. So if anyone has any ranged weapons, they can probably shoot the ones in the front.
Yeah. Well, Labiana would have her her bow and silver tipped arrows. Normal.
You got 3
Situations
successes.
like
He
this.
got. He also got 3. So, he manages to roll out of the way. He leaps. You feel your sword just barely scrapes him as he tumbles through the dirt, and he's going to have to make a reflexive roll to not be knocked prone by the dodge. At difficulty 7. No, he is on the
Ooh.
ground. He does not quite make the tumble. His next action has to be to stand or to keep dodging. One of the two. All right. Albina.
I'm going to toss that the one that's on the ground. I'll try to have him summoning the tentacles around him.
All right. Go ahead and make your summoning roll, please.
Or on the one on the ground?
Yes.
Okay. So to be clear, is Nicodemus alone with 3 werewolves right now?
No.
Okay.
All right.
So 2 because of specialization.
Albina, you reach into the substance of shadows and you pull forth the living void that to suffuse its mystic energies The light of the moon is bright enough to cast shadows in the grass, in the swinging door, even on the cloud on the ground, maybe. And you feel the shadows respond to your will, and they twist and they collapse to these two tentacles. They take a moment to do so, but they are forming to your will. Hatchips it.
All right. As she's reached her chosen's point to stand, having at this point up till now been running with her back turned to them, calls on the Chaos Serpent's energies, calling on both scaled flesh and distended maw, takes the fear that she feels, turns around, and pushes outwards, hissing straight at the second werewolf.
Okay.
That's a Dread Gaze, and I have I'm -2 difficulty from Serpent's Flesh not being used subtly.
Alrighty. I love it. I just need to look up the normal difficulty for it.
Wits plus Courage.
Which is probably going to be 9 or something like that for the lupines.
8. This normal difficulty for this guy would be 8.
Oh, so I mean, are you going to be modifying? I would understand if you also modified it up a bit because of the fact that I've been running up till now, but yeah.
No. They are chasing prey. They may expect a cornered prey to turn and fight. They don't expect I don't think they would expect cornered prey to turn and do this.
Yeah, you are definitely did something they probably did not expect. Even if they knew you were a vampire, they probably still did not expect.
Can I spend a willpower on this one?
Yes, I will allow you to do so.
Go for it. Nice. Okay, that's no good.
That's 2 successes, so
There's 2 dice.
yeah. Second one has -2 dice, and
So
it's not actively running away
actions
yet.
it takes this turn. It's got -2 dice on everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's an outstanding move. Cannot lie about that.
That's the second lupine, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Labiena.
Okay, so I guess what I'm sort of I'm trying to get an idea on roughly whereabouts these lupines are in terms of where Labiena's positioned herself.
I don't know where are you?
And-
They're all 3 of them are right here in the middle.
Now, also given that 2 appear to be preoccupied right now, Labiena
they
might
are.
focus on the 3rd one.
Okay, this would be the guy with the giant scar.
Ooh, okay. So she'll be looking forward to a bit of vengeance here. Now, is it facing? Would it be safe to assume it's facing her? Or like, can she see its face?
I don't know. Where are you? You tell me. Do you want to be able to see its face?
That's a very good question. She'll be somewhere with relative cover.
So I would assume you're somewhere up here. Then.
More than likely, yeah.
Okay. You can see it in profile for sure.
Well, I asked because I was going to see if there was any chance of firing an arrow at through one of its eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Difficulty 9.
Okay. Try and impair its vision a little bit.
Dexterity and archery. Diff 9.
Where are you shooting?
Dex Archery, Diff 9. Looks like I do have that one already set up. Excellent.
Are you making a targeted attack?
Wow. Out. Freaking standing
But
move.
don't need to.
Labiena, I would like you to add an experience point to your archery score.
Yes, 2
As
times.
this thing
nice.
magically grows a arrow out of its right eye.
Shit. Good job. Nice.
So 1 XP, eh?
Yep,
Nice.
1 XP to archery.
Should she?
It hits it right in the eye, and it just and it spins around, holding this arrow. Kind of goes to its knee for a second and twists and pulls it, and there's an eyeball, a werewolf eyeball, sticking on the barbed end of this arrow.
That's the fucking guy.
And it's there is no doubt that the howl that emerges from its mouth is absolutely one of incredible pain.
Oh, should she roll damage too?
No, it just took out its eye.
Okay.
It isn't going to be able. Its eye can't soak.
Yeah.
She made an eye contact.
And hopefully it won't regrow in next turn.
That's
But I'm hoping that it's just gonna increase its difficulty in doing stuff.
Well, we will see. We shall see.
Wasn't this a silver arrow?
It was silver tipped.
yeah. So
But that's why it pulled its
even
eye
if it
out.
can, even if it can theoretically regenerate, it's going to need some bed rest for it.
Right.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be quick. Alright. Vlad, your 3 flesh-crafted ghouls burst out of the double doors here.
They
must
actually
do what Master says. What did you tell them to do?
Yeah, I told them to essentially attack the lupines, or attack, essentially. So they are going to attack, all 3 of them going to attack the second lupine, who has been scared with the dread gaze. They will just rush up to him, and they are like, what is the word for it? Veiling, I think, flailing? Yeah, I think that's the word, flailing.
Make a
they're
single
swinging.
attack roll and add 2 dice to it.
Yeah. They are essentially swinging their arms around and rushing towards the second line. 2 dice to the attack, okay. That's 3 success.
That's with +2.
Yes, they have 2 dexterity and 0 brawl. So with the 2 extra dice, they have 1 success. Sorry, that's a difficulty 1. But because there's 3 of them around the lupine, he gets +2 difficulty to actions.
Well, he is already suffering from difficulty to actions. He basically has to run from them. So they attempt to corner him, and he dips, dodges, moves, gets out of the way, but he is involved. That's all he can do. It's everything he can do not to get cornered and just buried under these 3. He is completely 100% occupied by them.
Okay, nice.
All right. You hear behind you, Nicodemus. Well, actually, not Nicodemus because you're no longer on the roof, but Albina and Labiena on the roof. You hear a jump, a thud, the sound of roof tiles cracking and breaking. The 2 dogs are no longer dogs.
Oh dear.
Shit.
But
Or were they like obfuscated lupines, or like?
You can think of it like that. And there is, across from you guys, over here,
Wait, where?
a man.
Here?
Right about here, a man. A regular dude standing there. He has a pair of throwing knives in his hand. And he is staring across the way at Albina.
Oh shit.
Of course he is.
Is this
Hey, I'm wearing
is this
my
the
armor.
druid? The druid from the last combat?
Druid? No.
I think we can
By
talk to
druid
the
I
lab.
mean
Albina, you lose 2 temporary willpower points.
oh shit.
Wait, what now?
Fuck
Yep,
did he
mark
do?
off 2 temporary willpower points.
It's a druid.
He climbed up, and he looked, and he says something. He shouts something. So calling on the spirits to aid the servants of Luna and Gaia. And you swear you feel something touch your mind. And your knees grow weak. And your will drains away. Your vision grays briefly. As you feel exhaustion press upon your mind. And you throw it
So
off.
wait.
And it was that quick.
I was gonna say, would this affect me even with Alga Mortis?
This is an attack on your willpower.
Yeah. That was some lupine magic shit there. Oh, not really.
Need to take care of him.
Oh, man, this
is so
better.
Retaliatory
As,
action coming on.
As the Gabrielle, or sorry, as the Bruja and the Gangrel and the Ventru burst from their places. The Alethea and the Gangrel hit the 2 wolves that came up behind you guys. They just land a perfect aerial shot. The 2 of them dive bomb, and in midair they transform to their normal forms, and they basically do an aerial drop kick on these 2 wolves, and they hit with a freaking thunderhead of force. You can hear it. They do the superhero freaking falcon kick on these guys. And you actually hear the thud of their bodies as they get pile-driven into the earth. And the earth deforms around them, and you hear... And you hear ribs... You can hear the ribs crack.
I can almost picture them high-fiving afterwards. But no, it's a bit too... High five later.
The Bruiser runs out. Gale. She punts the one lupine in the head that is about to be engulfed by obtynabration tentacles. So as he's attempting to stand up and roll away from the tentacles, she just does a freaking football punt. Bam! Knocks his head back. And you can actually see his eyes roll up in the back of his head from the concussion he just got.
This is the lupine one, right?
Yeah, the one that dodged out of the way of Nicodemus' strike. He's not out, but he ain't going nowhere as the tentacles wrap him up. So
Right.
he is engulfed.
Yep. So there's now 4 tentacles on him?
2.
2, okay. Okay.
And last but not least, there is a distortion in the air.
Shit.
Albina, you can feel it in the void itself that you have this connection to. If you have Auspex, please roll Auspex. Just your Auspex rating.
I do not.
Everybody. Except for Vlad, because Vlad's not there.
Right, I'm not. My bird is, but my bird is there to just watch and let me know what happened.
let him know if he needs to make plans to, if he needs to adjust his plans.
Diff?
Yeah, if he needs to take
6,
care
please.
of the, if he needs to take care of the group cult and stuff like that, like after you guys will die.
Do.
All right. Vorpal and Labiana. Sorry, Nicodemus and Labiana. You receive a premonition that if you guys don't do everything perfectly, if you don't, what you see is a vision of a gray-haired old werewolf just ripping the heads off of everybody here.
What the fuck?
Hatshepsut, there's a minor spiritual presence of wraiths and stuff at this place. The family that loved the farmhouse so much and spent so much time here and raised kids. And there's a spiritual lingering presence here that your medium ability picks up.
Mhm.
And you feel that distort, and suddenly that presence is gone. This can only mean bad things.
Okay. Well,
The very air and warp of the spirit world distorts, and 4 more wolves appear. 3 of them look fairly young.
Maybe you guys should run away with
One of them
capturing one.
is gray-haired, old, pretty big, and he's holding in his hand what looks like to you guys would be a 2-handed greatsword of pure silver, and he's wielding it one-handed with ease. Vorpal, Nicodemus, you have seen this, and you just have this instantaneous vision, and you realize you guys are in some serious shit. And in fact, your special ability is screaming at you to get the fuck out of here.
we run to.
Okay. So there's like.
They have some NPC fish to fry, so...
Yep. So you should capture one lupine as fast as possible while they kill the NPCs. Come on, guys, you can do it.
Well, we effectively already have one captured. We
It's just a
need
matter of
to
getting
sort
it out of there.
Yeah,
away with it.
and remember, lupines are fucking fast, and they can get the double speed in wolf form.
Can a multitude of
Okay,
dead
is
bodies
this
perhaps help
is there a
carry him?
so the werewolf in the tentacles is still wiggling.
He's
Still
wiggling. He's. It looks like he's having trouble getting his bearings. He got knocked for a loop. He
Is it
basically got
possible
stunned.
It's possible to knock him out incapacitated with greater than usual chances of success, like trying to sink a silver weapon into him but not cause a fatality.
I would just go kick him in the head again.
Also,
Good idea.
Let's do
also
it.
just so you know, half grappled characters, you get 2 extra dice against them.
I don't need him to roll. I just
Okay.
need him to declare that he's going to go kick the wolf in the head again.
Yes, gonna do it.
Okay. You don't need to roll. You roll up and you just do a curb stomp on this guy. He's not going nowhere. He's got tentacles wrapped around him. He's kind of stunned trying to get up. And you just pick your foot up and you do this is Sparta, but a foot stomp straight down. Boom! Straight down into the ground. And he stumbles and goes still.
Mission accomplished. Now to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Well, would Labiana then have enough time to cast Seal of Abamixtra
Yeah.
animate these corpses and tell them to, help carry this werewolf
Mm-hmm.
out.
Absolutely.
I believe that's wits and occult.
And while she's doing that, Albina, what would you like to do? Maybe run some interference for her?
Yes. The guy that had cast the stuff to drain her willpower, would I be able to charge at him?
You are across the roofs, so you're not going to be able to reach him and around. So you're up here somewhere up here. I would
And he's on the
imagine.
other side.
Yeah, and he's
Yes.
over here.
Okay. Would I be able to use Farkat's
You could put Nocturne on him.
the one that? Yeah, it's Nocturne, the one that blankets the area in shadows. Try to blind him.
Yes, you could definitely do that.
La Sombra, bitch! I wonder if there's a Shadow Lord among those lupines.
Shadow Lords are a bit further east than this, usually, but it's possible, I suppose.
Hmm.
You only get one corpse, doesn't it?
If we want to see Shadow Lords, we just need to go east into Byzantium when that becomes a thing.
Alright, Hatshepsut, I imagine you're grabbing your ghoul, and you're telling him to run.
Yep.
Right, he takes off, and he fires a couple of shots as he's running. As best as he can.
Yeah, passing, basically, throwing stuff behind us basically to delay any pursuers, but focusing on getting out of there.
Alright. Labiana, you animate corpses. I'm not going to worry about how many you animated. You successfully cast the magic. They rise up. You declare, carry that werewolf to whatever location, right?
Yeah.
They run, stumble, they pick it up. Two of them have to pick it up. But all three are trying to. And so it's like claws are dragging along the ground, leaving furrows in the dirt. As two of them drag its legs, and one of them tries to carry its head somehow. And they begin to carry it out of the farmhouse.
Actually, as we're running, how does it look like on Lafia's end? How's she looking so far?
They are climbing back on top of the roof to see what the hell is going on. Yeah,
Okay.
the two of them put claws straight through. So they got to kill.
Sorry, who got
But
killed?
Larthia and Alethea both got kills.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
And wait, who were they?
Then they killed enemies, not they got killed yet.
And you see Gale
Oh,
has
they got
engaged
kills.
the one-eyed werewolf in a duel, basically. Blades against claws, and the fact that you shot his eye out is helping her immensely, because she keeps dancing over to his blind side, where he's like swing and miss, and she just keeps dancing over to his blind side, and then she whacks him, and she dodges, moves, whacks him, dodges, moves, whacks him.
Actually, real quick, as I'm rushing past, can I try and take a quick bite out of the one that
No, you don't
Brad
have
School's
time.
doing?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, so you guys are getting the hell out of Dodge. The flesh-crafted bodies are grabbing, leaving the NPCs to live or die on their own skills, which, quite honestly, I would be doing the same thing, and so would they.
Would they feel bad though if they survive this? Would they feel angry towards us for doing this?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be happy, but
They'll probably
the deal
get
was they help you capture a werewolf. That was the deal.
Yeah.
Even if they're a little upset, they'd probably get it.
Yeah, they understand. The deal was they help you capture a werewolf. The deal was not, you guys all stick together like one big happy group and take them all on until there's only one left standing.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now we have to figure out what we're gonna do with it. Like, do we have some sort of a cage or contraption we can shove it in?
I mean, probably the lupine you guys knocked out is not coming back for some time, and even if it did, probably one of you could just hit it in the head once more.
I'm just thinking if we can be sure that we'll be able to do so without killing it, we could try maiming it with silver.
It's risky. I do. Yeah. You guys got it. If it's like the tentacles and the zombies
I
and
need
the
from
Nicodemus.
you guys, from the 4 of you, I need wits and survival rolls to successfully conceal your tracks.
Of course.
Huh.
This is going to be difficulty 5 because you had a plan and you had a location. Now you just have to carry it out in the heat of the moment.
Can I spend a willpower on this one?
Yes, you can.
Is it one person or everyone?
I need the 4 of them that are there. Vlad, you're not there.
Yeah.
Survival.
Before Albina leaves, can she also try to help Gale, Lartia, and ARLtR by creating illusions of them, so that when they run away, the werewolves are distracted by the illusions?
That would be an excellent idea, and they would be very happy that you did that.
Oh, don't do that. They are competition. We need them dead.
Hey, maybe with Alethea and Gale, but Larfia's a friend. Don't.
ARLtR has been always fair towards us. Well, maybe less towards Vlad, but you're not there.
All right, I see successes. You guys stash the werewolf in a rowboat, and the bodies, having completed their mission, collapse and die once more. Hatchetset, your ghoul hops in the boat and begins going downstream, letting the current carry him. And the 3 of you all jump in the water and walk downstream a little bit, and you emerge dripping and wet, and you see just in time to see some of the wolves sniffing where you were at, where you had gone in, but you are pulling yourself out on the other side and disappearing into the city. You have apparently escaped.
Nice.
Okay. As we're going, I'm going to be doing. I think we're all going to be trying to make sure that basically we've pulled out as many stops as possible to keep the werewolf tied up and subdued as possible.
You need the werewolf covered. Don't forget. You probably have a bunch of blankets to cover the werewolf.
Actually, here's a question: is it currently in its war form?
It is. It is unconscious.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to be covering it up, trying to make sure it's tied up, and we're getting some silver around it so that it's going to have a harder time just breaking shit, and just rushing back to a prepared location to finish the job of keep getting it all subdued and nice and good.
You guys rush it back to Albina's sire.
Yes.
And she locks the silver collar on it and stuff and throws it in a cage, and as soon as it comes to, it starts howling and it grabs at the collar, and then it's like screaming in pain, like it's the silver's burning it. It's an agony. And it's crashing against the bars, and it's actually physically bending the bars as it crashes against it, and finally falls to the knees and begins to shrink to look like a normal human.
I'm actually typing because my her face, she remembers all the time that she wasted with her child that ended up meeting his final death at their hands.
So if you guys want, what the heck was that? If you guys want, you can all be there as this happens. For sure, I would believe Albina's there.
Oh, Şimdi
You mean even I can be there?
It's up to Albina.
So if
but
allowed.
I would think most of you would be.
So if allowed, Labiana would love to be there.
Yeah, I
Uh,
would love to be there as well, if Albina is okay.
Sure.
Yeah, have to be there to watch. Making some mental notes of how the thing struggles. Almost feeling sorry for it, but you know, it was gonna kill them all, so you know.
Sorry, if there is an option, I would even ask or say that for free, if Albino's sire would need. Where is this sound coming from?
I don't know.
It's
Okay.
the audio.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I will, if I am there, I will also say to Albina Saye, without any cost or anything, without any expecting a return, if I can help with the lupine, using my powers to restrain it even more, I would be very, happy to help her sire. Essentially telling her, I can use my flesh crafting to, make life harder for that lupine for free, without any boon or
So
anything.
let me describe the room that you are currently in. It's carved out of the bedrock of Rome. There is no light. There is but one or two candles, casting a few dancing shadows that you can see this creature. There are other cages down here. People, something is in them. You definitely feel that there are things in the shadows that if you were to step into a corner, you might not make it back out. Albina, you were embraced down here. Down here, you took your journey to the abyss as you accepted the blood of La Sombra.
the darkness is comforting for her family. It's a place where she died and the place where she was born.
And you guys are all standing in a semicircle around this cage, looking at this poor young man. And he is young. He's 17, 18, maybe. He's helplessly, with now human hands, tugging at this collar, which is now much bigger on his neck. But he seems weakened. He can't quite get it off. He moves his head back and forth. He's trying to yank it over his head, and it's getting caught on his chin. And her Albina sire, in that just chilling voice, just says, "If you keep that up, I will manacle your hands to the floor." And there's no doubt that she means it. "I will make you eat like the dog you are from a bowl, or I will let you eat like a man. Your choice." And she slides a bowl of mush across the floor to him. And she looks at all of you and she says, "So, it only took a decade, but you have finally proven that you can handle a simple task. How many boons did you have to trade?"
3 major ones.
3 major boons. I shall have to make sure that your task is worth the price and the reward of being allowed to exterminate these creatures, and the equal rewards that come with such a task shall easily exceed the price paid. And then she looks at all the rest of you and she says, "I will offer you all this one chance to taunt this pathetic monster before you." have anything to say to it?
May I speak?
She looks at you, signals to go ahead.
Okay. I will grin, and then I will just ask politely and quietly. If you need anything to be done upon this lupine, I will be more than happy to use my powers to restrain it further, without expecting anything in return, of course. It's just a great opportunity for me on its own.
You are asking, after all the effort and all of the price paid that my darling Childa has gone through to obtain this creature, you're asking me to donate it to you for your experiments.
No, not sorry. I did not want to make it sound like that. No, definitely not donate. It's more like it's definitely yours. It's your prize. It's your tool, toy. I wanted to say if I can help in any way with my powers to you, then I will be free to do it. I definitely do not want to own it or anything. If you want
it
it
handled.
Okay.
The only plan left for this creature is for it to die. I just have to make sure it dies in an appropriate manner. How about the rest of you?
At this point, I was just going to say, Labiena, at hearing that, a big smile crosses her face. She has absolutely no remorse for this creature.
If I may be so impertinent to offer an inquiry, perhaps it would be some option to learn our enemy before submitting it to a tormentous death, the death it deserves. Perhaps we can study it to see what makes him tick and how we can use to our advantage upon further encounters with these creatures.
True. My bird actually told me that among the lupines there was one especially weird lupine, gray-haired and with a giant silvered sword. It seems that these lupines have more than what they seem to be showing to kindreds. They definitely have some structure of any kind, or at least a power hierarchy. This one may know information.
Well, Labiena firstly turns to Nicodemus after what he said about wanting to learn from it. She says, "That is for you." He then turns to face the caged, transformed werewolf, transformed back into the man that he is. Stares at him, like really just stares at him, and says, "For me, I can finally rest knowing that I have my vengeance for the death of my child."
Albina goes over behind Labiana, gives her a comforting embrace, knowing also the tone of her pain, before she steps aside and looks down to the werewolf. Whatever my mistress will do to you is a mercy compared to what happens to you in my dreams. What
The
happens to
werewolf looks
all
up to
of
you.
your
It's got hatred in its eyes. It just and it hisses at you guys in Latin. The mercies of the worm are nothing. I gladly accept death to lure you back to the graves which you crawled out of, you scum.
Mistress,
And
do you
I will
want
say he
me?
did that in character because he couldn't come up with a good enough insult, so he just like all he tried to be all mean about it, and now it's almost going to make you guys laugh.
Mistress, do you want me to make this Lupine's beast silent and subversive? I can't do it right now if you wish.
She waves a hand, and you see the shadows coalesce, and a upright creature of some type steps out of them and puts its hand over the werewolf's mouth, and just kind of holds it as it struggles. It appears to be fighting against solid shadow. I would like everybody. Albina, you don't have to roll. Nicodemus, Hatshepsut, and Labiana roll your courage at difficulty 5.
I was just going to say that Labiana is watching this with pure delight.
And Vlad, I need you to roll your courage at difficulty 7.
Okay.
The three of you got it easier because you've seen this before, just not quite so up
To
close.
this extent.
Okay. That's one success on my part.
Yeah, so Vlad, you actually step back, like, oh, shit. Like, you can't quite contain the urge to run, but you don't flee, but you definitely take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
The other three of you, having seen this before, are quite happy that this time it's not directed at you.
Yeah.
By the way, actually, out of character, what would be the right etiquette, which I would ask this in character to Albina, when addressing Albina's sire? What would be the correct word to use? And
Did
I
she
would
ever-
ask this.
Did she ever gave me some proper title that should like to be addressed right?
Mistress of Shadow would be very appropriate here, actually.
Mistress of Shadows, Maella.
Right. Okay. Okay, that sounds a little cringy, but I will say it.
Actually, well,
Mr.
I'll tell you what. Albina, before you say that, she is no longer the Master of Shadows here in Rome because somebody greater than her has stepped forth and taken the title.
Oh.
Montano, of course.
Makes sense.
What is your sire's actual name?
Emilia Maella.
Okay. It's up to you. You can suggest that he call her like Mistress Amelia and then her full name, or you can give him the old title. It's completely up to you.
Mistress Emilia Maella.
Okay. Maelia is a little hard for me to say. You know, it's a tongue twister.
Just Mistress Amelia would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Mistress Amelia, now that this beast has spoken and confused some of us for a second with the annoying voice it has, I would like to ask again, what is your thoughts about gathering some information from this creature?
She kind of shrugs a little bit. She says, my only plan is for it to die in a spectacularly public fashion. But if you would like to engage in torture and maiming of this creature in order to gain some information, in the meantime, I will accept a major boon for each night of effort that I allow you to undergo. And if you maim it beyond usefulness to me, you will procure me another one.
I see.
Yeah, so basically, don't name it beyond usefulness.
Yeah. I see. Well, I do not wish to undergo the process again for some reasons. So thanks for giving me the opportunity, but I will decline.
And she looks around. She says, "The offer stands for all of you. If you wish to gain answers to the mysteries that you obviously crave, a major boon for each night will allow you access, so long as you do not maim this captive beyond usefulness to me."
I will
Albina,
consider the idea, but for now, I just wish to say one thing to it. And unless someone, unless objections are raised, Hat is going to lean forward, look the lupine in the eye, and with a lot less of the hatred that was present in some of the others' eyes, more just a sort of, cold, maybe contempt. Just whisper very quietly so that it can just about hear, and maybe some other people will hear, but a creature between man and wolf. Usually they call such a thing a dog. Are you going to be dying like one then? We'll have
It
to see.
slams against the chains and reaches through the bars as far as it can. Give me a Dex Athletics roll there, Hatshepsut.
Oh shit! Wouldn't that be
Oh,
funny if Het
boy.
just died in that moment? Just
no, but he's still a man,
fucking
isn't he?
like that.
Yes, he is still a man.
Still in human
In the
form.
moment of huge
What difficulty base?
It's going to be 7 because this is well, you should have expected this, but yeah. Dex Athletics, diff 7. Obviously your Dex boost no longer applies if you had one.
Oh, yeah.
That's no wait, that's okay, that's still 2 successes. Then, taking away the last 3 dice.
Well,
Or just reroll.
All right,
Nice,
Defender
okay.
wins. His hands shoot forward and he jams up. The chain draws taut and his head kind of jerks back and he goes and chokes. And as he does, his hands just barely grabbed hold of you. And as it jerks his head back and he chokes, his grips break, and you stumble backwards a little bit. It actually literally he falls to the ground and he jerked forward so hard. And it snapped his head back so hard, and he's choking.
I'm gonna try and push it back so that he doesn't. I'm gonna suggest that we push him back so that he doesn't die choked to death.
No, it was the impact of him slam against that chain. So he's not choking. It's just like if you've ever
Basically
punched somebody
weeping.
in the throat, he's
yeah.
He's probably not gonna die from it, right?
no, not at all.
Okay. Still have the fury, I see.
But
But,
Albina's
maybe
obviously
consider
getting
what I
some,
said a little more with your last few days.
Albina's obviously getting some pure satisfaction out of watching him choke like that.
Does
Equally
it seem
somewhat.
like there's anything that Nicodemus could learn over the course of 1 or 2 nights? Because times are steep.
Well, this is your opportunity as a out-of-character player group. This is your opportunity to ask it in-character questions and maybe get answers.
Yeah, true. And I also have a question out of character. When we owe her one major boon to question this lupine, is it only for one person, or can that one person bring others to help?
Each person who is participating.
Okay. Well, out of character, I have some powers that might help question it easier. I got the animalism tree, that might help, and I got flesh crafting, which hurts a little bit, but can also help breaking the spirit of someone.
I have 3 main questions to think of for it.
Yeah, I also have a few, but namely some related to the stuff that he himself has said.
What makes you think he's going to answer any of it?
I mean, that's why we should use probably if we have supernatural powers to make this a possible thing. With normal means, we probably can't make it answer
I'll
to
tell you guys
us.
what. Let's take a short break. Let's take 5 minutes. Okay.
Sounds
You
good.
can discuss this in the 5, or go get freshen up your kettle. Do whatever. Let's come back in 5, and hopefully that should give us a little bit of time to think about our responses. All right, welcome back. Let's get started again. You have had a few minutes to discuss this amongst yourselves. Do you pay a boon and perhaps get some information? Do you, just let it go? How do you guys want to handle it?
For one major boon per person in exchange of questioning this lupine for the whole night, I do think, because my powers alone would not be enough to question it successfully and get actual answers, I do offer that if anyone else has powers to help me question it, then I would be willing to offer a major boon.
See what good can come of this.
I personally have some powers, or I have one power that can essentially subsume the beast of this lupine, so that it does not have the willpower to just act. It would be, how to say it? What's the word for it? Catatonic, maybe? It will be just not doing anything and just standing there. It would probably answer our questions, but it would not have the will to just attack us, try to leash at us, try to hurt us or anything. It will just.
I'll take the boon to Albina's sire, but not to necessarily to Vlad. I want to.
Oh no!
try.
Vlad is not asking you to owe him boon. He's telling if anyone else is okay with owing Albina's sire boon to question the werewolf, he would be okay with joining you.
Well, in a weird way, I would actually prefer that so long as she's able to ensure her own safety, she would actually prefer that the lupine not be dulled into insensate, blur. Because basically, she's judging not only its answers, but specifically how it reacts.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. If we can secure that we don't get killed by the lupine the moment we enter that room, I really don't see a reason to do that either. Although I do think I can use flesh crafting to help us.
Now, if I were to list every possible question she might ask, we'd be here all night. So I'll just give the two main topics, Chris, and you can say if I uncover anything. That sound good?
That sounds great.
So the first one is, what exactly the lupines have as their purpose and how that relates to their antipathy for us.
Okay.
And the second, a more practical question, to what extent are lupines around the world in contact with one another? Was lupines in different cities necessarily know what's going on?
It can answer the first topic. It cannot answer the second topic.
Yeah, I say this was a little too vague.
All right, so we're going to use the interrogation system on page 338.
Okay, what does that do?
All right, so Hatshepsut, you are basically going to have to torture this guy to get information.
Am I helping Het or what?
I don't know. Hatshepsut?
Ian is just like, nope. I'm sorry. You guys.
You can help if you want.
You know what? No. You know what? I'm not going to owe boon to a kindred that sent us to capture a werewolf and say it is a simple test. No, I'm not going to owe her a boon. No, I'm not with the interrogation. I'm out.
Okay. Now, Hatshepsut, you are on Red Lilith, right?
Yep.
What's your road score? 3, 2,
4 currently.
Okay. I'm flipping to that because this is an opportunity for you to have a moment of truth, depending on how you go about it. So, give me some good RP, my man. Alright.
Oh wait,
The night
can I
comes...
ask something?
What?
I was just going to ask, do we have to owe boon if we are watching as well, like, or is that okay if we just watch
Nope. If
others
you are here,
interrogate?
you owe a boon.
Okay, I'm out then. Yeah.
If that's the case, Labian is leaving. Although she, the only reason she wanted to stick around was to watch the damn thing die.
Well, this is a new night. It's alright. Well, it's gonna die during the day, unfortunately. But yes.
Oh.
It's a new night. Regain a willpower. Because you all sleep soundly in your bed and your grave earth. Secure and basking in the feeling of a job well done.
Nice.
Unfortunately, you did lose a permanent resources point.
Some of
because
us, right?
Well, the three of
There's
you that
something
had
listed.
temporary resources tied up in all this silver, you're not getting it back.
Really? Shit, we
fine.
couldn't invest it?
You left it sitting in the middle of a bunch of
Lost.
werewolves.
Okay. Okay.
Well, as far as I know, Labian was still wearing hers.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Your armor never got damaged.
Yeah.
Come in handy again at some point.
Before she leaves the haven, Albina is also going to make a report for her side on what they found on the farm. About how she felt the abyss shifting when those werewolves jump out of nothing. How she felt that apparently their farm has some presence there. Seems to be important to the werewolves somehow. Seeing as that big motherfucker, the big cleaver, the big silver sword. About how some of the werewolves apparently look like dogs, not like actual wolves. How they might be able to camouflage among dogs.
So I assume you tell her everything, right? You give her the whole rundown,
Yes.
and she says, "Well,
Yes.
if your serpent friend believes that they picked her up a couple of nights ago and were charting out her route, is it possible that they simply prepared to ambush the ambushers?"
Perhaps.
Nonetheless, well done, my child. Well done. Very proud of you.
She feels warm and fuzzy from the bloodbound. She receives the praise.
Go and enjoy yourself. You've earned it.
Yeah, she's going to go hunting after this.
So, Hatship says it's a new night. You've regained a willpower point.
Mm-hmm.
You come down. Several of her sire's herd members are there. They have basically the long dog pools with the loop in the end of them. And they're using them to help control this guy. He remains in his silver collar, chained to the floor. And they basically tie a rope around your waist, and they say, if we have to, we'll pull you out hard.
Thank you, frankly. So yeah, I'll head on it. I'll head on in. Good evening again, little beast.
You smell of worms and the things that slither across on their bellies.
Snakes, perhaps.
snakes and the centipedes and the millipedes and all manner of crawling nastiness. You reek.
Interesting. Well, I would ask if you mind I ask a couple questions, but you're going to have to listen to them regardless. So I won't demean you. I won't demean you that much. But yes, I'm going to be asking a few things. You can choose to answer or not. I may apply pressure, of course, but the ball will still be in your court as to how much you cooperate. First off, I'm curious. Just, your kind seem to be particularly averse to ours. Now, I can understand perhaps a degree of inherent disgust. We just based on what we do, it's not something that everyone understands, but it seems a bit more than that. Are you willing to exposit further on the subject?
He tries to jerk his hands through you, and the guys on the poles, bam! They jerk him backwards. So he settles for spitting at you. He does a big and he spits right at right at you.
I'm going to take that as a refusing to answer so far. Okay. With that, Hat will Okay, so I presume that it's in human form right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. With the spitting having happened, Hat will. Well, first of all, just to be extra safe, she's going to apply the covert form of serpent skin. You know, just so that if it tries to grab her, she can slip free. If it strikes her, she has a chance to resist more. And just take out a silver coin, obviously not from the bait, just a general one, and press it against the thing's forehead. See what happens.
He kind of lunges backwards, and the ropes give a little bit, and he tries to kick you right in the crotch. Now, naturally, he has no idea this is going to do literally nothing to you. Because you're not expecting it, I'm just going to have you soak. Roll to soak 3 bashing, please. As he kind of jerks his head back for a second, and as you go to follow forward, he falls backwards and just kicks that foot right up. Bam!
Okay, just find the stamina to do. So I soak it all, basically.
Yeah, your body
That-
kind
that
of
does hurt a little bit.
like pops up just like a hair, and you come back down, and you barely even felt it.
I even when you're contained. Sometimes I like that, Tin Man, but that's beside the point. Are you perhaps willing to say anything more now, or do I need to continue thinking of ways to amuse myself?
I'll tell you. But I can't say it out loud. I need you to bring yourself closer.
Don't fall
Best
for
bait
it.
ever. Best bait ever.
Hat smiles, clearly knowing. She basically comes just close enough that he can't bite, if that's what he tries. just short of that distance, but
No.
she clearly
Closer.
she,
Closer.
it's
He's still in human form.
yeah. She'll edge just a little bit closer. Clearly, from the smile on her face, it's clear that she knows that he isn't planning to tell us shit with this, but she's playing along because she finds it funny.
Spend reach for instant Krynos form, then attack for bite. Bam!
You get just a little bit closer, a little bit closer. As soon as you're in range, in an instant, his mouth deforms and big sharp teeth, and he lunges forward. Snap! Snaps on your shoulder, neck, arm area. Because I assume you kind of jerk your head away just a hair.
Huh, so you can choose to only take part of the body. Interesting.
Well, he snaps and he holds. And he starts shaking. It's a matter of how much damage is he going to do to you, if any. Alright, so the attack roll is quite successful.
Really? Shit. Yeah, man, you shouldn't have, you shouldn't have approached to it. If you get closer to it.
Damage roll, not so much. So 2 aggravated damage, please.
Alright, it's good to say that I spent some blood on stamina before leading in, just in case. Is that okay?
You know what? Sure, I'll be okay with that.
That's 1 success, so I take 2 ag.
You should take 1 egg. That was 2 damage total.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I take 1 ag.
How much blood are you at right now?
Currently at
Especially remembering every time you spend blood, as you remember, you have to spend an extra.
That's at the end of the scene. I have to spend the extra.
Ah, okay. I forgot about that. All right. You're at exactly half.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. This thing bites on you, and you feel it's pain. This hurts. Slams like on your shoulder, right on your rotator cuff area, and he starts shaking you head back and forth, just like a dog or a wolf. Trying to tear a big freaking chunk out of you.
Got anything silver on you?
Yeah, I'm gonna press the coin under its jaw, and I think I can actually slip free reflexively due to scale skin.
Yeah. Give me a reflexive dexterity and athletics roll. Attempting to
Spend
slip
a
out of
willpower on this.
Yeah,
that's 4 successes total.
Slip out. He with his hands and everything pinned as he is, and it's just his mouth. Your skin kind of deforms, leaving a few undead scales in his mouth as the snout retracts back to his face, and he spits out a couple puffs of ash from where the scales became inert compounds in his mouth. And he leaps at you, and the handlers, again, yank him backwards as he struggles fruitlessly against the restraints. You're going to have to do something
this time I'm
hit him with silver, because it's not affecting him, apparently.
Interesting.
Silver dagger in the shoulder.
How much time is pissed right now?
I don't know, half an hour?
Let me think. Let me think.
Don't you have Serpent as one? Couldn't that be helpful here?
I mean, it would freeze him in place.
Also, presence, AR.
Yeah, let's
Dread
give that a shot.
Gaze.
Why
You can
not?
also use Dread Gaze. It cannot run anywhere, so you can just keep rolling Dread Gaze till it breaks down.
That's a good idea, actually.
But if you
Alright.
do that, he won't be able to answer questions either.
No, yeah.
This is also true.
You can try to
No, I
Dread
want
Gaze
Dread Gaze.
without breaking it. Just like Dread Gaze it once.
And then it recovers, eventually.
Yeah.
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 Now, you are going to have to basically resort to... You have already... By inflicting it with silver, you've already proven you have no good intentions here. You're going to have to resort to some sort of physical punishment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And mental too, I believe.
Yep, physical and mental stress is what you are going to have to apply.
Pretty much. And do it quick.
Some
because
enhanced
we have one die.
interrogation tactics coming up.
Yep.
Alright, so
I would like you to roll manipulation plus intimidation.
that isn't terrible for me. Difficulty?
6. And he resists with stamina plus 3, which is 6.
Ooh.
Also, so this roll can be done later on, but we're going to presume that Labienna's out right now while all this is going on feeding.
Okay, yeah.
Rolls can be done later.
I don't have any problem with that. Alright, so you begin engaging in some physical torture. And now apply some mental stress. How would you apply mental stress to this target?
I'm gonna hammer home just how.
Daughter of Lilith.
Hmm?
Said daughter of Lilith. How would you apply some mental stress to this target?
Ooh, God, so many possibilities I need to consider.
But
I think one of the angles I'm going to approach from definitely is just hammering home just how pathetic a position it's in right now.
yeah, go for its pride.
Supposedly noble, strong beast being kept down by leeches and humans. It got a look, and it only managed to get a wound on me because I let it. Because I thought it would be funny.
I love it. Make your roll, please. And he resists with pure willpower. Alright. You strip the willpower from him as you are beginning to break his spirit. He's not resisting quite nearly as fiercely as he was. He's beginning to be hurt. He's not regenerating, which is an important fact to note.
Mm-hmm. From there, I'm going to proceed to just make a note of hold on a second, my brain just
Sorry, what did you say? Look.
He had a brain fart.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, take a minute or two. Maybe in the meantime we can do the Labiana hunting to give you some time to think.
I mean, they can make their rolls whenever they want. So, Hatch, you continue to torture this guy. Torture, interrogate, torture, interrogate, torture, interrogate. Stripping it down. Just trying to give you some leeway to maybe work in some stuff about pain, building character, and things like that.
Yeah.
Things that you might talk about as a devotee of Lilith.
Yeah. Here's an angle that I'm going to bring up to try and convince it to maybe consider being a bit more cooperative. This thing has a mortal form. This could very well mean that it has mortals it cares about. And I'm just going to note all the tools that the vampires of this domain have to track down those connected to
Okay.
people they dislike.
I just saw something on the Path of Lilith that I am going to PM to you.
Ooh.
Okay.
And if you decide to do this, we'll break its spirit and we'll answer your questions with no more dice rolls.
Now I'm very curious.
Why wouldn't she do it then? That's the question. What's the drawback?
I'm trying to decide whether to take the risk and take 3, or just play it safe and take 2
Ooh.
each.
So what did you say, Labiana? MP?
Oh no, I'm just trying to decide whether to take the risk and take 3 blood from each, or just play it safe and take 2.
You
I
can
do
do whatever
need
you
quite a
need
bit
to
of blood.
do, because you are not feeding to death. Like, you're not like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna feed until I'm totally full and I don't care how much blood they have. At your level of humanity, I don't think it matters.
That's very true. But I mean,
I
I
think-
suppose she would be at a point where she'd take 3 and basically, in an effort to watch them die, I suppose,
say,
and try and learn as much as she can
If you
along the
do
way.
take 3, you have to sit there and until they either live or die.
Isn't it a roll if you kill a human on the road of humanity? Like, isn't it a
You
level
would
1
do that,
sin?
actually.
No, it's not a level 1 sin to kill.
The level 1 sin is if you kill in a very twisted way.
A level 1 sin is the most vile and twisted acts of anything a human could do.
Like, for example, the suggestions that I've just been offered, which I think I'm going to turn down, at least on this occasion.
Understandable.
I'm curious about it now.
Yeah, but like, what kind of thing was it that you turned it down? What
Okay,
was
I'm
the
not
drawback?
I am not gonna tell you, and I would encourage Hatchet not to tell you until after the game. If you are curious, out of character, look up the Road of Lilith, read through it, and see if you can guess. Without and if you want to put guesses in text, you can, but try not to spam it just guessing. Like, actually read through it and make an intelligent guess.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna for my next one, I'm going to be focusing on just bringing up the possibility that if it keeps fighting like this, we might very well be able to figure out where any mortal relations it has, and maybe hunt them down.
Okay. He continues to resist you. Basically says, the longer you hold him down here, the more time you give his pack to reach you and destroy you. So go ahead, keep stay down here with him. He would love to be holding you as the rest of his pack breaks in. So make your dice roll, please. And then I will need you to make your dice roll to actually physically torture him as well, inflict pain, because you have to do. We're doing both of these at the same time.
So that's both manip and intimidate, right?
Manipulation plus intimidation. It's the same roll for both sides, both of them.
Mm-hmm. So that's a 3 and a 2.
Hey, lagging behind just a second. Rolling the dice. So waiting on it to make up its mind. As you are, I don't know, crushing bones, breaking fingers, making, slicing little pieces of flesh off, making controlled cuts across his body, what have you. Come on, roll 20. What are you doing? Oh, there it goes, finally. So it did resist your torture. He doesn't appear to have broken this time.
Very impressive, very impressive. Almost impressive enough to counter just how disappointed your pack must be. Consider just how many advantages you all had over us, and yet you still fell behind from just a few strikes. One would get the impression from it that you were the weakest link among them all. Who knows, maybe they'll even think we did them a favor by removing you from their presence.
Nice one. Don't even roll. He's got to get 2 10s. Yeah. Follow it up with a round of physical torture.
Whoops.
Is that a true? Oh, that's a true botch.
It is.
Okay. He's going to
I
take this
accidentally stick the
opportunity.
knife in his eye.
You are... He's fading. He's beginning to think about what you said, right? He's really starting to feel that maybe he deserves this. Maybe he's earned this. This is his punishment, right? And you begin the loving cutting of his flesh, and the blood, the knife drops, and you're like, oops, well, let me bend down to get that. And it brings all of you right into range, where he instantly goes Krynos, despite the fact that he's now a little bit choking on the silver and is inflicting a great deal of pain on him. And he just grabs onto you in a grapple, and he is going to now bite you. This is a surprise action. After this, you get a chance to, of course, reflexively slip away because you're still scaly. And he's going to spend his last remaining willpower. He's burning everything he has for this. Absolutely everything. He has nothing left to give. He's be totally broken if he doesn't kill you here. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes on a bite.
No. Can we get the rip music? Rest in peace. Hallelujah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Soak 5 aggravated damage.
Luckily, you rolled your damage bet.
I take 2.
All right. Man, skin of the atom. What a fucking great power. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Serpentis can...
Yeah, he
Serpentis
grabs hold
is
of you
good.
and he just mouth opens wide and he just picks you up and brings his mouth to you and just bites. Ah! You feel terrible, terrible damage, terrible pain. Once more as he bites you in the same spot, rips chunks of your flesh out. And he begins to shake you, and you just relax and slip out, just like a serpent. You hit the ground, you back up a little bit. And he falls to his knees, and he grabs the collar, and once more he shrinks back down into human form, and he collapses, gasping for breath, completely spent. He has nothing left to give.
Do you feel like being a good boy now?
He very weakly slaps at you, but it's just like a little kid, hitting at you. It's his. That's all the resistance he can put up.
All right, I'm going to ask again. What is it that your kind are about, and why precisely do you have such a intense disdain for ours?
We protect humanity, the wilds. protect, herd, and sometimes cull. You, monsters, creatures of corruption and death, you serve no purpose to the wild and to earth. We seek to give you release back to the death you try to avoid.
And you maintain this belief even if you were to be if it were to be noted that there are some of our kind, not many, I will grant you, but there are some who actively try to coddle the pure humans completely and utterly.
Doesn't matter. You have avoided death and the natural order of all things. You consider it humane. To us, it is perversion. All things must die.
Fascinating. Is this just for your particular the lupines of your particular area, or is this a mostly global thing?
It is what I have been taught, and I believe from the elders to me and the spirits, Gaia herself. They cry out. The very, very spirits and land around you cries out at your corruption.
It's interesting that you choose the name of Gaia for whatever it is you revere. After all, she was in the habit of creating perverse monsters herself.
And those that did not answer, die. All things die. And you will too, eventually. We'll get you.
Perhaps, or perhaps someone else will get me, or who knows. But, well, you seem awfully convinced that this order of things you're protecting is above reproach.
He just glares at you. He doesn't say anything.
Let's see, what else? Ah, yes. The one with the... Tell me a bit of the one with the large blade.
Well, thanks for asking that.
You're gonna have to deliver another couple of kicks to him, to loosen up his tongue, but he does eventually start talking. The eldest, the elder. The one who teaches us all, guides us all, protects us all.
Ah, interesting. Your leader then, at least locally. How many of you are there here?
I don't know. I don't know. Please stop. You just gotta stop. Ugh. You gotta believe me. I don't know. Please.
Okay. Let's see what else on the list.
You can ask one more thing. Make it a good one.
Can we be friends?
I mean, I'm pretty sure any chance of friendship is ruined
I
here.
don't know, Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, but you need to blend a bit more niceness into it, a bit more faux niceness into it to cause Stockholm syndrome.
True.
You can always bloodbound him.
Not really. You need 3 nights.
Also, I'm not sure if Blood Bond works on lupines.
Probably does. You know what? You have 1 night. Why don't you try it? See if 1 blood will give.
Well,
I'm also nearly hungry anyway, so I might frenzy if I give him some blood.
and I'm pretty sure it's gonna die anyway.
Oh yeah, he's gonna die. It's more that if he gives 1 blood point, we will see if he gets like the benefits of the ghouls. Like,
Hey, you know what? Speaking of Hatshepsut, there is a smell of extremely potent werewolf blood. This is more potent than human blood. Human blood, maybe yeah, maybe no. I don't know. Werewolf blood, though. Oh my god, what a
yeah.
temptation! Man, it's smeared all over you. In fact,
Oh
some of your
god!
blood smeared all over you. It's all over the.
All right,
Yeah.
if I'm feeling the beast rising from this, I'm gonna abort early because
Self-control.
I'm not. Spend willpower if necessary to try and buy some time because I'm not going to be able to control it.
You can ask
Long
one more
enough.
question, but you got to make it quick and you got to make it good. Do you have one?
Ooh, okay. Oh fuck. You speak of a mother, but have your kind forgotten that she has room in her heart for all things that accept her?
The mother creates, the spider weaves, the worm eats. Creation, order, destruction. You stand outside of this. You are order only, order and destruction. There is no creation in you.
Many of us would differ, but my wits begin to leave me, so I shall leave you. I pat him on the head. Good boy.
And he
And then
weakly
leave.
snaps at your hand in a instinctual bite, which does literally nothing to you. Not even a little, even fake. Oh, that was so scary. Oh, gee.
Mm-hmm.
And you leave him to wallow in his pain and misery.
By the way, as a masochist, can I get a willpower point from getting bitten by a werewolf twice?
And not avoiding it, yes. And you just hung in there like a champ too, just like whatever.
So yeah, that's my questions for it done.
All right.
Anyone else have anything?
You guys walk out of there a little bit occult knowledge richer.
Mm-hmm. And I'm probably going to have to go feed because I'm hurting and I'm hungry.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. we're going to begin doing some minor time jumps
Okay.
from
Interesting.
126 BC, which is what I think we're in, or no, sorry, 123, where we're at. We're going to be
123. Okay.
skipping a little at a time to 91 BC.
91. When does
91.
Julius Caesar burn? Birth of Julius Caesar. There is no birth date, but there is like estimation. 100 BC. Holy shit! So this is like Julius Caesar around 10 years old.
Caesar.
Right? So,
Nice.
ignoring the damage, everything, you're back to normal, all willpower full, everyone's fed, everyone's healthy. Okay?
Right.
So on and so on. Hatchipsit, you have something that you want to do within the next couple of years.
Yep. And at this point, I'm going to start bringing it up to the rest of you all of someone I think we should investigate. To try and get a better gauge of how things are shifting in the mortal world.
Who would you like to
Uh-huh.
investigate?
Confused.
Let me just quickly make sure that I get the full name correct.
Sorry, did you say the image?
It's not the name. He
I'm-
needs the full name.
Yeah, and just
The time skip.
wait.
And during this time skip, Albina will also start with checking up on Gale, ARLtR, and ARLtR.
All right, so while Hatchipsit's doing that, yeah, so you guys, either as a group or just Albina,
I
make
want
it-
to check in on Laugh as well. So yeah.
Lucius Cornelius Sulla is, I believe,
Yeah.
the name you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Larthia got out of there unscathed. She knew when to cut and run. She knew when she was overmatched.
And
Alethea
I'm definitely-
and Gale Leonis, not so much. They had
Sorry,
trouble
who are
turning down a fight.
who were those? Were they the Ventru and the
Brugia.
Gangrel?
Venture in the
Hold on,
Brugia.
say again? What happened to Alethea?
She ain't dead.
But she was seriously hurt.
She's hurt. And she walked away
Okay.
with trophies.
Okay.
Oh. Of course she
Okay.
did.
Well, let
That
me take
sounds
that
like
back.
Alethea.
She didn't walk away with trophies. She merged with the earth and then swam through the earth with a trophy. That's how she got away.
That was the who was that?
Alethea.
Alethea.
Alethea. Okay.
That sounds like Alethea.
Okay. The other two are dead.
No, Laughia's fine.
Yeah, Alethea is fine. Alethea
Alethea
survived,
got
but the
hurt,
other
but
two.
she's
oh
alive.
yeah, she's been through worse.
Okay.
Oh yes,
But
she's
the-
been through worse.
But okay.
Yeah.
And the gangrel.
The gangrel was like, fuck you guys, I'm out.
Okay. The Bruja was dead.
The
Right.
the Brugia walked out of there with a Grendel trophy.
Okay.
She walked
Was
out of there
Gren-
with a werewolf arm to hang on her face.
There you
And
go.
I guess the Bruja used like celerity to get the fuck out. I
You would
assume.
guess correctly.
Yeah. And
You best be careful if you decide to hang that up on your mantel place. Before you know it, the werewolf snob will be coming round.
Oh, you know,
Uh,
I thought about it, and if Labiana had the opportunity, she would have taken the werewolf eye and started using it as another homunculi.
that will
Wish
that
I thought
will
about
be
that.
oof, that would be
It-
such a
Adding insult to injury. No, so
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
werewolf that now has one eye and one arm.
So wait, did any vampire died from that combat then?
No.
Nope. Okay, no kindred died from that combat. I would like to join Albina because she is going to meet with Alethea, right? The kindred who
Right, so you
killed
guys, you
Vlad.
head over to the Temple of Diana. Temple of Diana is a small temple. Has a life-size statue of Diana, the Huntress, who strangely, looks somewhat like Artemis, or not so strangely, as she was literally the model for it. Alethea is there. Her armor has been torn up. As you guys walk in, one of the other priestesses there is actually helping her strip it, and it is torn to shreds, and it is torn through leather and chain mail like it was tissue paper. Sitting on the ground next to her is a Krynos form werewolf head.
Getting flashbacks of bloodlines.
Her weapon is unsheathed, but it's laying on the ground beside her as she is on her feet, struggling to get this armor off. So as you guys walk in and you actually see, they actually finally strip it off of her, and it lands on the ground in a bloody heap, and you see big claw marks on her back, across her chest, her naked breasts.
Oh man.
She turns and looks at you, Vlad, and she sees the one eye, and she looks over at Albina as if a confirmation. Is this the same creature? But it's just like eye contact.
She gives her a nod as
You guys see her slip her foot under the blade of her sword, prepared to flick it up into her hand. But she doesn't do that yet. But it's a warrior motion that she's prepared for trouble.
No need that. I'm here with peace, nothing else. Does she relax?
Yeah, well, no, she keeps it close to hand. She's not stupid.
Okay.
Good to see you made it out. Well, not unscathed, but you know what I mean.
Alive.
She looks and she goes, well, I didn't get that elder. That's the one I wanted. Walked away with one of their ewes. It'd be one less to bother us in the future.
Albina obviously looks over at the head that she's referring to, and again you see that familiar sort of grin, knowing that there's one less werewolf out there.
And she looks, Albina, she looks at you and she says, can you make sure this doesn't rot?
Can you actually make sure that? Does your mage have that ability?
No, but she can do experiments.
I mean, I can do experiments as well. I can.
So, anyway, she picks it up and underhand tosses it to you. It's like catching a medicine ball. But it's dirty, but it's not bloody. All the blood's already drained out of it, pretty much.
Did the brain drop from
No, it's still protected by muscle tissue and all that. It's got a pretty clean cut right across the neck.
Oh.
And she's like, if you can preserve that, I'll give you a minor boon for it.
Out of curiosity, did any other call before retreat had to be made?
No, I don't blame the gang for cutting and running. She did the right thing. I'll fight beside Gale again. She was fantastic. I used the abilities of the gangrel to escape. I believe she used her clan abilities to get out of there.
You must be quite skilled to survive so many lupines.
should not be the child of Artemis otherwise.
We only approach one of the best to help with this.
I mean, I understand that she's child of Artemis, but nonetheless, the deed you've done is very great. I'm a scholar, but I still admire when someone shows so much skill and success.
Albina. This point turns to Alethea. Indeed, we are truly grateful for your help in this matter.
She kind of shrugs her shoulder and she looks directly at you, Labian, and she says, some duties don't end at death.
Indeed, they do not. And I smile. So, I also have some things to say while here. Actually, the reason I am here, I do know that I might have offended you enough that you actually killed me in court. But I do hope that you saw the 3 creatures I sent to the battlefield to buy the coterie some time.
I'm glad to see you learned your lesson.
And I'm here to say that I do not hold any grudge or anything like that over you killing me. In the end, for someone other...
I may not be the manipulator my sire was, or my brother. But I'll believe that when the sun rises on my corpse.
Well, either case, this is what I'm telling. The flesh does not matter for me compared to other kindreds, so I do not hold a grudge over you killing my previous body. Final death is nothing to such creatures as we are.
Regardless, does anyone else have anything they want to say about Alethea?
What?
Can you repeat that? Your sound went really deep.
Out of character, does anyone else have anything they want to talk to Alethea about?
Yes, Albina would approach her, and she allows you to put a hand on one of her injuries. Does these injuries prevent you from hunting? Do they capacitate you?
She just shakes her head no. She says, I and my sisters are sufficient to do what's needed, but I recognize your concern, and you have earned the respect that my clan gives you.
Only because your clan has earned mine. As that said, she's going to step back to give her her own space.
Christ, this is weird. So the party's the somberest one on best terms with Aventru. This is fucking weird.
Yeah. Hey, you just need to wait a few more centuries when Christianity gets into play. And we can talk about that again.
Oh, or at the very least, the crown of thorns. Is that what it's? I forget what it's called. You all know what I'm talking about. The Convention of Thorns. That's the one.
Yeah. What does, by the way, how does Alethea look? To Vlad's response.
She looks like she doesn't believe a word of it, but she accepts that you have said it and have not attacked her.
Okay. Does he seem relaxed now?
Oh, no. No.
Not yet?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to attack him.
Give her a break. She's fresh out of a fight.
True. Maybe this is the best point to actually attack him if I wanted to kill him. But I'm not.
You don't live to be her age by being careless like that.
I mean, to be fair, even with Also, there's just the fact that combat veterans in general, sometimes you'll very often get, just even with mortal people who've only been in combat for a human lifetime, it's like they're never out of a fight.
True. But still, he could have rolled, like, I don't know, perception, empathy to see if I'm lying or not.
See, that doesn't
He was-
detect if you're lying.
Yeah.
That detects if you're being aggressive, if you're being deceptive. But that doesn't mean you lied. It means you're hiding something. It means maybe I don't quite believe it, even if you're telling the truth.
Right. Okay.
Like, it's not a lie detector. Okay, you're not human lie detectors.
Okay. Also, before the time skip totally happens, Vlad will also actually mention about the thing I wrote in the chat, a group chat, about picking up like a human and then just experimenting on it all together. Nicodemus, Vlad, Nicodemus's, teacher, Labiana. Just suggest that we do that at some point.
We're actually going to get to that. All right. So we're gonna do a 2-year short little like skipping a stone across the pond here.
Yes, those 2 years, Albina is going to start trying to flirt with ARLtR.
Nah, don't do that. You become the bitch, not the master.
ARLtR actually doesn't return any of that. You just don't push any of her buttons.
Alright. Makes sense.
I'm guessing that if she's interested in that kind of, if she's even at all open to that kind of thing, she's either only interested in people just as mighty as her, or on the flip side, she might secretly have a soft spot for utter, balls of sweetness and soft boys. It's going to be one of those two.
Or maybe he just doesn't give a shit.
Well, I mean, if you spend enough time with her,
yeah,
you can figure it out. But it just doesn't push any of her buttons.
Right.
All right. So the last thing we're going to do tonight is I'm going to give Hatshepsut one more chance to track down the target, and then we are going to close her up.
Ooh, target.
What role should I make then?
Is anybody helping Hatshepsut? Who has contacts and is helping Hatshepsut? That's the question.
I mean, who are we trying to find?
I don't think I have
Lucius
contacts.
Cornelius Fuller.
Okay.
Why?
Why are we trying to do that?
I believe that he is going to be playing an immense role in what happens to the city in the years to come. And even if we don't direct it ourselves, though we might decide we want to try giving a little nudge, it'll be good to know where things are standing.
Albina herself does not have any contacts, but it's possible she make usage of the contacts of her child.
Yeah,
I do
you can definitely tell her to do that.
contacts.
Yeah, she is going to have her child assist Hatshepsut.
All right. Anybody else?
I don't think I can.
All right. No Vlad. No Nicodemus.
I do have my ghoul has
I wanted
contact.
to.
Oh,
I don't like being either.
you all want to help? Okay.
But do we risk anything by helping?
No, you're not risking anything.
Okay.
Hatshepsut, make your roll and add 6 dice for the help.
What was it?
Wits, investigation,
Even if we don't have
and contacts.
Sure, what did you say, MP?
Even if we don't have contacts?
Well, you could do a little personal searching yourself.
Okay.
I figure adding 6 dice covers everybody plus contacts.
And willpower on this one?
really want
You'll
to
be
go
down
for it.
if you do, you're down a willpower next game.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a
Okay.
long period. Go for it. How much dice are you going to roll with that +6? I'm really curious.
That's the benefit of having
Not many.
friends.
That's why I'm spending the.
Benefit of having friends help you out.
Okay.
Okay.
That's tricky.
Here's what you found. There were 3 Lucius Cornelius Solos. One of them is an old man. Probably not the target you're getting. One of them is a father-son combo. It is from the Cornelius family, which you have had intimate contact with. If you remember Tiberius Gracchus's father-in-law. But they are a plebeian branch of that family line. And this is real. I'm not shitting you guys. This was genuine. This is actually what it was.
Okay.
So the father is currently at war. And the son at the moment is about 15. And he likes to party and hang out with musicians and whores.
Okay.
And
Is it
I'm
a
not
bad
joking.
thing?
I'm not making this up. He really was like this.
Is this a taboo or something?
Well, the family line that he's from, even though his family as a whole is extraordinarily wealthy and extraordinarily important, his particular branch is poor and considered to be the black sheep, as it were. But Set has spoken. He has a great destiny ahead of him.
Is it known which particular side of the big political struggle either of them tends to take?
Whichever one gets him ahead. But like I said, the boy, he's 15. He cares about having a good time right now. That's all he cares about.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So yeah, we're going to need to keep an eye on them and maybe on them both, and maybe if we so choose, try to insert agents to influence them. But we can think about that later.
Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to close up here. You guys get 2 XP for tonight, and I'm going to give you your downtime XP now. We're skipping almost 30 years, but you're getting 5 experience points. You are getting close to becoming Ancilla, sorry. And your bodies are slowing down. They're beginning to become static. You're just not learning new stuff as quickly as you used to.
Sure. 5 total or 7
So
total?
5 total. Yeah. No,
5 total.
7. Motherfucker.
Yeah,
I forgot.
two from the game,
Said-
5 from the time skip, or like 5 total. 2 from the game and 3 from the
10,
time skip.
20, 30. I'm flipping through my notes here real quick. We're going to say 7 total.
Okay. 7 total.
Sounds like I'm going to need to put my plans in place during that time skip then, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up next game. We're going to open up. I'm going to go through a couple of small scale stuff. You're targeting this kid. What are you doing? Okay, here's another scenario that's small that we should talk about. Here's some stuff that's happening. I'm going to go through some of this stuff. So I'm going to skip over some stuff happening that you guys should be able to get a chance to react to.
Yeah.
And all this stuff happens over the course of 30 years. And we're going to pick... and what we're going to do is go through some of these small stuff that happens. And then in 91 BC, the next big thing starts coming up. And we'll stop skipping over a bunch of time periods right there.
When do you think we will do the experimentation thing, or are we going to do it over the text?
It'll be probably next game.
Okay. Also, I do have a question. In that 30-year time skip, in that downtime, could I have completed my project?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Nice. I believe. Wait, in that 30 time skip, could I have possibly learned how to increase my empathy?
You can spend experience points on it. It's
Yeah,
if you got the
that
XP
was
to spend on it.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my question. If I can spend XP to increase it.
Are we still recording?
Let me put off. So for you guys into the recording, thank you and good night. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. I appreciate that you've stuck with us so far. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know there was a lot of chat about the werewolf scene, and I gave him some time to try to hash it out. When I saw it wasn't going anywhere fast, I went ahead and tried to spur it on a little bit faster. Hope you guys enjoyed the combat. Tried to make it flow a little easier instead of getting bogged down in tons and tons of dice rolls. Once again, I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Thank you and good night.